It doesn't matter what you want. I will succeed, whether you like it or not. I am unstoppable. When will you learn that? When will you learn that?
Again, Mr. Williams, I invite you to conversate with me directly. I don't do all this internet stuff. The problem is you're going after my family, you post my children, and then you mention my name. So you and I, we need to have a conversation. And yes, this is a forever problem.
It's me, Darius Cooks, also known as your local scammer.
You are, you gay, grown up in Chicago, you just end up being with a tribe of people. I don't know, it's really hard to explain. It might be different now, but when I was growing up, there were crews. We had people we hung with, right? Anyway, and I hung with people like, you remember Calvin, Lavelle, those are people that I used to hang with back in the day, and you see what happened now, especially with randomness of Vail. We ain't heard hide nor have him, have we? We ain't heard hide nor have him, have we? Come to think of it, let me not bring his name up, because let me tell you something. He probably, he ready to. Where's the expose? Where is the expose?
Show out, run your mouth, pop off at the mouth. I do something called an attack. When you do the attack, you got to make sure you're real rooted and grounded. Look that way. Make sure you're real rooted and grounded so they don't know what's about to go on. You just attack them. You just attack them. What did I say? I said you better do what I said to do. Then they think you're crazy. If they think you're crazy, they'll just walk away slowly like that.
Yeah, I stole from the church. Then, okay, the first time I definitely remember stealing was I stole from this lady's purse, a teacher at school. I was on, did I give it back? I probably should go up there right now and give a donation. That's probably what I need to do. It was this teacher at school, and I used to go to, what school was this? It was Douglas. I guess I was in House B at Douglas. I was in House A. I forgot. But this would have been like 1990. Okay, let me see. Hold on. If I graduated 8th grade in 95, it would have been like 1993 or something. Girl, that's so long ago. I can't remember shit. 30 years ago. Okay, that's how long ago this shit was. 30 years. So, I thought nobody even seen me steal that money out of her purse. I took $20 out of her, and I would take the money. I used to go to with that 20, I went to the corner store. I got me some oatmeal cream pies. I got some vanilla ice cream. I got some of them toasted coconut donuts. I got me some tangy cheese chip. I was fed. I was still to eat. I was fed. We was poor, right? So I remember I stole from the lady purse, and I had got caught.
And I said, damn, how they catch me? Ain't nobody even seen me go in her purse. But they found me. I had to go to the principal's office every day. And call my mama. I got my ass towed clean up. So that was the first time. The second time I remember stealing was at the church. The third time, this one I said, I better stop this. I think I came to my senses after this, after the third time. After the third time, I said, this is, the third time I got caught. I said, no, I can't do this. It was like more like organized crime. I could have got a RICO charge. Let me tell you what had happened. I had this job, right? I told y'all this before. I had this job. I used to work at Frank's Nursery and Craft in North Riverside. Third? I know. Girl, I was a kid. You kids do dumb shit because they kids. I used to work at Frank's Nursery and Crab. It was in North Riverside, right? It was like, when you go into North Riverside, you gotta go past the Best Buy, and then on the right-hand side, before you go to the mall, there's the, it was Frank's Nursery and Crab, right? And I used to, I was on the cash register. Let me tell you what I used to do. So let's say you come and you come to the register and you do your stuff, right? You be like, okay, I'm gonna cash out. Back then, the credit card, everything was separate. It wasn't the same. So what I used to do is if your bill was like $37.41, right? I would charge your credit card $41 and whatever the cent is, and then take the $10 out the grocery store. Out the cash register. Out the grocery store, Lord Jesus. Out the cash register, right? So I would probably make about between like $80 and $100 doing that a day. Girl, today, I guess somebody down to the accounting department started doing a reconciliation. I thought you just started scamming. You a whole professional. I know, child. Somebody down to the accounting department started saying, "Wait a minute now, store number 672 look a little funny on the on the P&L." A day, child. I ain't do it like every day. It would be like, I'd probably do it like, if I ain't work, I was a kid. I wasn't working every day. I was only working like specific days. So I would only do it like, let's say if I work 3 days a week, I would do it like 2 days a week. I wouldn't do it the whole time. Yeah. But yeah, I did that. It's one of my fun. I'm not proud of it. Never sounds proud of it. Oh God, we thank God for deliverance. Oh girl, please. I ain't the only person.
This, you know what? This is the thing. It don't come up no more. This is as far as it come up. I guess I didn't get the one with the extra long handle on it. It's fine. This one, I like the spin mop. You ain't got to touch it. I twisted the pole. This is as far as it go up. It only go to 48. What's 48? 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 4 feet. This 4 feet tall. This about 4 feet. This about 2 feet. This 2 more feet. This tallest it go to 48. That's it. It's not meant for me. It's meant for Maria. I love this mop. Girl, it don't the fuck go up. Extendable telescope. 22 to 36 inches or 36 to 48. Bitch, you got 2 choices. 22 to 36 or 36 to 48. That's it. It don't go no fucking higher than that. Okay? Now, do you want the flow clean or not? What the fuck do the size of the mop got to do? Girl, twist. I have twisted. Girl, down, up, down, up, down, up. I'll talk to y'all later. Breon. She crazy as hell, but so are you. The heifer came in with a bathrobe. A bathrobe and a suitcase. A roll-on suitcase. Bitch, if you're not showing down with Darius Cooks with a bathrobe and a roll-on suitcase, what are you doing? Okay? Do not ask me why she came in there with that bathrobe on. She was fully dressed, but don't ask me. I don't know. And she had that suitcase. She fit right at home. Anytime you show up, and that's my first time ever meeting you, and you that comfortable, bitch, you at home. She ain't going nowhere. All right? Nowhere.
I'm spirited about this Darius thing. You can't be up in here playing games with my Darius. I will fight you. Okay, I'm not even a fighting person. I don't fight people. But I promise you, boy, what year is this? Back in the top of, what was it, 2014? It was the end of 2014 or the beginning of 2015 when Darius was given to me. And baby, we went through it over on Periscope. And that baby let everything be known. You know, he was opening up. And, you know, you learn his story. And you be like, you know what? Not on my watch, okay? Nobody else is going to come in here and nobody's going to come in here and mess with my Darius.
Police station. Why am I not in jail? Where's the record? Where's the Okay. Y'all believe anything, child. Okay. Then that's what happened. I saw women.
So much, you must wake up and just make up stuff. Cause I just do not understand why every time you talk, you tell a quick lie. You and your lies gotta go because I'm tired of talking to Pinocchio. Then you had a nerve to look folks in the eyes, knowing that you telling them lies. You be telling them lies. I asked you about this. Did you lied about it? I asked you about that. Did you lied about it? Get them lies together, they all over the place. I bet if Jesus came back, you a lie to his face. Damn, Pinocchio. I guess you wanna see how far your nose can grow. I said, Pinocchio. I guess you wanna see how far your nose can grow. Now, boo! Let's go. Stop telling all them lies, you know, but what? Let's go. Cause I don't believe that you say at this point. Cause all you do is lie, lie, lie. Lie, lie, lie. Lie, 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 lie. Mama! 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 Mama!
What's up, good people? Let me know that you can hear me in the chat by typing either Forever Problem or Night Owls. Forever Problem or Night Owls. If you can hear me in the chat, we are back for another episode. I have been putting together quite a show today, and I still was rushing towards the end. That's because I keep picking so many stories, and then I be deep diving. I just can't help myself. But anyway, thank you to everyone letting me know that you can hear me by typing either Forever Problem or Night Owls. Shout out to our channel members, B Hunt, Saint Sinners, Renee, Fifi, Maddie's mama, Alice, Renetta, Iron Smith, Madam, Andrea, and everyone else in the chat who's letting me know that you can hear me. I'm loving not having my glasses on, but I am, and Sabrina Lloyd, I just saw that pop up. Loving not having my glasses on, but yeah, I'm my eyes are just like recalibrating to these screens. Everything looks a little fuzzy. Not everything, but a lot of things. But anyway, wanted you to say Forever Night Owls because, like I said, I got a lot tonight for us. And as I was wrapping up, putting the show together, I was like, God damn, this is a long show. this is a show for the Night Owl. This is a show for, I know we got our third shift workers and our people who just are Night Owls. This is a show for y'all. I can already tell. I can already tell. And Forever Problem, because tonight we will be talking about the origins of the hashtag Forever Problems. So we're going to start some of the topics we're going to be talking about this evening is an unfortunate situation with a 3-year-old having their life taken by a random stranger in a grocery store parking lot. Then we're going to be highlighting another KKK Karen. This one happens to be a TikToker who has gone viral for her toxicity and hate. And so we're just going to shed more light on darkness. Then we have a true crime story. You guys know that, well, some of you know, and for those of you who don't know, I actually have a true crime channel called Reality Chronicles. And over there, we do real life stories and true crime. I'm a little behind getting content out over there, but my plan is now to cover some of it over here, and then it'll also be replayed over there, as well as there'll be some pre-recorded stuff coming in the future. But tonight we have the story of two brothers who attacked their parents, rather, and and tried to take their life. And so we're going to talk about that. It's a very interesting story I ran into a couple weeks ago. And it's an older story, but it's very fascinating. And then for the second half of the show, we are going to do our exposing of Darius Crooks, and specifically the, again, origins of the hashtag Forever Problems, aka the Hollins family story. And that's why the show's probably going to be really long. I think it's, as a side to pull that in, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be long. Thank you to the 96% of you over here on the YouTube side who have voted and said that you have liked and shared this video. If you have not liked and shared this video as of yet, please do so. It is free to you, but it is invaluable to me and the growth of my platforms. Also, just a reminder, the VIP text community that we've had for umpteen years, that 312 number where I would send you the updates of when new videos were coming out, etc. Some of y'all like, well, I'm not getting the messages. That's because it's permanently down. However, the good news is that we have moved that level of communication and more over to the Telegram app. And you can scan the QR code on your screen there, or you can use the link. Click on the link that is pinned to the top of the chat here on YouTube, and I've also put it in the live chat. Actually, we're not on Facebook today because I'm still banned. I think I got 1 or 2 more days. I think today might be the last day, but I'm not sure. It's either today or tomorrow is my last day. But so Facebook friends, if y'all could let them know over there on Facebook, come to YouTube. He is live. He's just not on Facebook. Because Facebook is a hater. Nah. But anyway, on Telegram, that's why I send out notifications. And then we also have various chat groups as well. It allows us to, if you love the chat over here under the videos and to watch them on replay, or even when you're here live and you're like, oh my God, I love it over here. Telegram keeps the party going until the next video. And we have various groups with various topics. I just started today the Young Thug trial group, so that we can maybe start talking about that if y'all help me get up to speed on it. We got the Darius Crooks, we got the Tiffany Henyard, we got true crime, we have politics, and then there's some other stuff. So fun over there. Oh, and lastly, as far as housekeeping goes, we also have our channel membership over here. That's where you can get the special emojis that you see in the chat from time to time. And then also exclusives like early premieres of exclusive content. We got another exclusive interview that I'll be doing this week. Those on Patreon already know. Do y'all? Yeah, y'all already know about that interview. And so that'll be happening this week. And I may do an early release. Yeah, because that may not air for another week or so. I'm going to see how that story turns out. But if you're a channel membership, you'll get to see it, you'll get to see it early. And also you get your loyalty badges, so you get the shout outs. And if we all press for time with comments, I'm going to always prioritize channel member comments, etc. Oh, and the monthly live streams that we do for channel members only. Yes. Okay, now let's get into the show. So we're starting, again, we've resumed our missing persons segment. We have 4 missing people that we want to highlight this evening. The first one is, I think this is Adora Joy Johnson. And Adora is now She's been missing since May 20th of 2024. She is now 15 years old, missing from Oakland, California. Black female, medium complexion. She is 4 feet 9 inches, 110 pounds, brown colored hair. The hair length is long and brown eyes. She was last seen. I got to put these on. It's the numbers that really start blowing me. In the 600 block of Hayes Street in Oakland, California. Circumstances of her disappearance are unfortunately unknown. But if you have any information on that, you can contact the Oakland Police Department at 510-510-238-3641. And hopefully she'll safely return. Then our next one, again, a young lady. This is Maya, I think it's Stollard. It says that the Metropolitan DC Police Department is seeking the public's assistance with locating 15-year-old Maya, who was last seen in a 4500 block of Kansas Avenue Northwest on Monday, June 10th, 2024. She is described as a black female, 5 feet 2 inches tall, 110 pounds with brown eyes and brown hair. She was last seen wearing a black shirt with gray flannel pants. If you have any information on that, you can give anonymous tips if you choose to by calling area code 202-727-9099, or you can text anonymously to 50411. Then our next person is, I guess this is Amiri, I think, Jackson. Again, Washington, D.C. Police Department is seeking a public assistance with locating 17-year-old Amiri, who was last seen in the 5000 block of C Street Southeast on Sunday, June the 9th of 2024. She is described as a black female, 5 feet 1 inches to 5 feet 2 inches in height, about 150 to 160 pounds, with brown eyes and black hair. Her clothing description is unknown. If you have any tips on that, you can also call area code 202-727-9099 or text anonymously to 50411. Then we got two more. Uh-oh, I made my whole thing disappear. Two more. Yeah, no, I got to work with two different programs, two different screens. We have, I think this is Dante or Deante Miller, missing since May 23rd of 2024. He is now 14 years old, in Oakland, California. Black male, medium complexion, 5 feet 9 inches, 120 pounds, black hair, short with brown eyes. He was last seen in the 35th Avenue and Foothill Boulevard on May 23rd of 2024. Circumstances of disappearance are unknown, but if you have any information on that, you can contact the Oakland Police Department at area code 510-238-3641. And then the last person for today, there are so many. We could literally do 24/7 shows on just missing people. It's a lot. We have Patrick White, who's been missing since June the 2nd of 2024. He is now 53 years old, missing from Crockett, Texas. He's black, dark complected. He's 5 feet 5 inches, 140 pounds, black hair, short, brown eyes. Patrick last spoke on June 2nd of 2024. So he was last spoken to, I think is what they were saying. So anyone having any contact with him. And they say, according to authorities, deputies were called out for a welfare check on June 4th when they found White's residence in Crockett empty, with his vehicle nowhere in sight. So if you have any comments, well, if you have any information on this, you can contact the Houston County Sheriff at area code 544-2862. So thoughts and prayers to all the family and loved ones of these missing individuals, and prayers that they will be back with us, back in there where they belong with their family and friends very soon. So moving to our first story. This is the unfortunate story that I mentioned in our opening poll question. Yeah, it's a poll question. Close that one. Poll question I'm putting out here is, have you heard this story of the woman who unalived a 3-year-old in a grocery store parking lot? And how I ran into this particular story was on Twitter or something, where she they were highlighting it because she's smiling during her arraignment. Smiling, not only at the camera, smiling at the family, etc. And you know, smirking and giggling and all kind of odd behavior in my assessment. She was whispering. Then when talking to the judge is asking her, did she understand the instructions, etc. She's like, see, and he's like, excuse me, see. It's like, is that a yes or no? Yes. It's like, are you of Hispanic descent? What's happening here? And she's not. She's got some issues going on. So they said she is charged with unaliving a 3-year-old boy outside of an Ohio supermarket. A woman named Miss Ellis is accused of unaliving a 3-year-old boy and injuring his mother in a Giant Eagle parking lot in North Olmsted. Ellis faces charges of aggravated M for the attack that took place, they're saying yesterday afternoon. I don't know when I got to grab this. Ellis appeared in court for her initial arraignment, where her bond was set at $1 million. So that was her first arraignment. I think that happened like on Monday, and then she had another one. I forgot exactly, but she's had 2 of them. I got clips of both. They said the name of the 3-year-old victim has been released, and the attack is reported to be completely a random act. So they're saying that it wasn't like she knew him or the mom. We don't have there's not much information out there about what the confrontation looked like, you know, exactly any details. It's just a random attack on this woman and child. So I don't know if there was any type of interaction prior to, but that's what's out right now. So the second hearing was scheduled for yesterday. And so yesterday is when we end up with her in court smirking and looking like that. So here's a little overview news clip.
The initial appearance for the woman accused of...
It's buffering.
We're going to be taking you to the initial appearance for the woman accused of stabbing and killing a 3-year-old in a Giant Eagle parking lot yesterday afternoon. She's also accused of stabbing his mother with her head down there. You should be seeing Bianca Ellis, 32 years old, of Cleveland. She's going to be charged with aggravated murder. Let's take you live into this initial arraignment.
We are prepared to answer the question about whether or not she wants to waive or demand the preliminary hearing.
Ms. Stevens, on behalf of Ms. Ellis, how do you wish to proceed?
Thank you, Your Honor. We have had a chance to discuss the waiver or the demanding of a preliminary hearing. Ms. Ellis would like to demand a preliminary hearing at this time.
The preliminary hearing will be set for Monday, June 10th.
So this, what we're looking at, is the first hearing, and she keeps her head down like this the entire time.
At 10:30 in courtroom 3. And Officer Curtis, may I hear you on bond?
Your Honor, based on the nature of the offense, the city would request a high cash bond as high as the court is comfortable with.
Okay. Bond will be set at $1 million cash or surety.
Hello, Ms. Ellis.
So what we're looking at now is the second hearing, and this is the one that she requested. And I know this is no laughing matter at all, but I couldn't help but I will admit, and I saw some other people saying that they thought it was a male. And honestly, when I first saw the clip on social media, I thought it was a male smiling too, until I got a peek at those big old Edie's hanging down to her knees. And I was shocked. And I'm like, there was no training done whatsoever with those. Do your Eddies hang low? Can you tie them in the bow? Can you throw them over your back? No, let me stop. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
Hello, Ms. Ellis. Do you have an attorney? You do? Do you have the money or means to hire an attorney? Have you received your indictment? Okay, have you read it? You have not read it, okay? We have a copy here. You can read it.
They just so low, y'all. I ain't never seen that in real life. They don't hurt. Why they so low?
You don't want to read it.
I see Michelle Anderson. You're asking what's the Cash App. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen, but also it is on the screen because Alice just commented it. But scrolling across the bottom of the screen is my Cash App, Zelle, our Linktree, and all the other ways to get in touch with me or donate if you so choose, and it's greatly appreciated in advance.
Are you willing to accept that the public defender has read it to you? I'm sorry. You asked her not to. Well, but she did read it to you, correct? She didn't read it to you. Okay, well, we can read it in open court. I can find it. Okay. It's a 10-count indictment. Count 1 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did purposely and with prior calculation and design cause the death of J.W. 10/29/2020. The state of Ohio reserves the right to seek a superseding indictment containing the appropriate 2929.04A aggravating circumstances specifications. And so you understand that means the state is reserving its right to add a death penalty specification. Count 2 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, that the defendant did purposely cause the death of J.W. 10/29/2020. Count 3 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did cause the death of J.W., date of birth 10/29/2020, as a proximate result of the offender committing or attempting to commit an offense of violence that is a felony of the first or second degree, to wit, felonious assault, Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.11A1, and or endangering children in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2919.22B2. Count 4 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did knowingly cause serious physical harm to J.W. on date of birth 10/29/2020. Count 5 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did torture or cruelly abuse J.W., date of birth 10/29/2020, a child under 18 years of age, and furthermore, the violation resulted in serious physical harm to J.W., date of birth 10/29/2020. Count 6 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did attempt to purposely cause the death of Margot Wood. Count 7 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did attempt to cause the death of Margot Wood as a proximate result of the offender committing or attempting to commit an offense of violence that is a felony of the first or second degree, to wit, felonious assault, Ohio Revised Code Section 2901.11A1, Count 8 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did knowingly cause serious physical harm to Margot Wood. Count 9 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did, knowing that an official proceeding or investigation was in progress or was about to be or likely to be instituted, alter, destroy, conceal, or remove any record, document, or thing with the purpose to impair its value or availability as evidence in such proceeding or investigation. Count 10 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did with purpose to deprive the owner, Volunteers of America store, of property or services, to wit, knives, knowingly obtain or exert control over either the property or services without the consent of the owner or the person authorized to give consent. I have now read the indictment to you. Do you wish to enter a plea of not guilty?
Sí.
Pardon me?
Sí.
What's same mean? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. I understand the victims are represented and they want to make a comment before I set bond. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning, sir. Could you start with your name?
My name is Jared Wood, father of deceased, husband of Margot. Your Honor, that day, 1 week ago, she took everything from us. There's nothing that could ever replace my son, or anything that my wife and I, and our other kids, are going through. It's horrendous. I believe there's no bail, period, or extend it to the max limit possible by any count, at the very least. Just do whatever you can to keep this monster behind bars.
Thank you, sir. Is there anything else you would like to say?
That'll be it.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Is there anything else before I pronounce bond?
Your Honor, we would just ask that you consider assigning the public defender's office, recognizing this is not our number. We did represent her at the first appearance unit. I did meet with her on Friday. We have had contact with her family and begun working on the case. Thank you, Your Honor.
When the original bond was set out of Muni Court, the bond was set at $1 million, and it was before the passing of one of the alleged victims. I do not believe that bond is appropriate given the change in circumstances and the allegations that are contained in this indictment. Bond is set at $5 million, cash, surety, or property. GPS, no contact with any surviving victim or victim's family. DNA order. Judge is John Russo. Pretrial is June 17th at 9 a.m.
So I was looking at my notes. I was pulling stuff so quick I missed a couple things. So there's a little bit more detail, and I saw someone's comment saying that there's actually some video out there. So I'll definitely try to pull that so I can put that on the Reality Chronicles channel. But they're saying that Ellis was inside of the Giant Eagles grocery store on June 3rd in the Cleveland suburb of North Olmsted when she saw Julian Wood and his mother, Margaret Wood, near the front and followed them into the parking lot. The mother was about to load her groceries into her vehicle when Ellis ran at them with a knife, poking the boy twice, and in the attack, and took less than 5 seconds before Ellis walked away. So she attacked the young boy really quickly. They said the child died, was unalive at the hospital while Margaret was treated in the hospital for a wound to her shoulder. A wound the prosecutor says she suffered after trying to pull the boy out of the cart during the attack. So as Ellis was attacking her son, she was trying to get him out of the cart at the same time. I read somewhere they were saying that he sustained a wound to the face and one to the back. Craziness. So we saw there her bail was set at $5 million. They said the arraignment concluded after it took 3 attempts and nearly an hour to complete. And we know those arraignments be like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes max. And they said on Monday, she initially appeared via video from the county jail, but was staring at the floor as the judge was asking if she had a copy of the indictment that charged her with aggravated M and other related counts. And then Ellis first told the judge, I don't know. She probably was like, I don't know. Then she stopped answering despite multiple requests from the judge. So the judge asked Ellis why she wasn't answering, and Ellis remained silent. So then they had to, send her out and try again. So I saw some of y'all. I'm going to read the start comments. We know that this is a mental health issue for sure. B. Hunter saying that video is on Law and Crime Channel. It was sad. She stole the knife from the thrift store and walked up on the mother and baby as they came out of another store and started stabbing. And then this was in Ohio. I saw someone answer your question, but this was in Ohio. Paulette Newman is saying there is a video that shows more from the incident. She was walking through the store with a knife. The knife was stolen from the thrift store, and she followed the victim and his mom out of the store. If anyone knows exactly where that video can be found or the link, if you could share it with me on Telegram, it would be greatly appreciated. And then, Spider-Man is saying she's fighting a lot of demons. I think that's very, very, very clear. So thoughts and prayers to this family. It's such a sad situation and so unnecessary. Next story that we are moving over to is the KKK Karen video. Let me close out this poll. Have you heard this story of the woman who unalived the 3-year-old in the grocery store parking lot? 67% of you had not heard of the story, so I'm glad I covered it. Have you seen this TikTok? It's a TikTok from this KK Karen. That's the name I gave her. It's not her actual. It's not her actual. She's fighting demons too. I didn't leave this comment up on purpose, but it also applies to this story. She's fighting demons. So there's a. I didn't mean to take it down. There's a TikToker out there who went viral. This influencer was filming herself while cooking and made some comments that some felt to be very racist and insensitive. And she was actually talking about dating and, gripes about men, et cetera, et cetera. But the language that she chose to use was a problem. She started out, and this I think picks up a little after this part, but she started out and was quoted as saying, guys, certain guys think that all girls are gold diggers. I don't know if you get your information from street interviews from Miami at 3 a.m. outside a nightclub, she says in the video. And then she goes on to say the rest of this.
Oh, who's married right now? They're
buffering.
Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke ass niggas. And they don't care. We don't give a fuck about your money. I couldn't care less about your fucking money, okay?
Something that's absolutely unforgivable.
So it was a longer video, but that was the meat of what the issue was. Of course, social media was getting her together. Like, how dare you? You don't have license to use that word. I blame the music. I blame a lot of things for these people feeling like they have license. However, as I dug deeper into this case, I realized she don't need no license. Her ancestors, in her mind, gave her the license. She ain't looking for it from us or from the music or entertainment industry. She already got permission from her ancestors. So this was her response to all of the backlash she was getting on social media when that clip was released.
Is people who play the victim card while
a little bit.
People who play. Something that's absolutely unforgivable is people who play the victim card while living in America. You live in America, bitch. You live in the freest, safest country in the world, and you have the nerve to play the victim card? You realize there are slave traders in Africa right now. Look it up. Look up that video of all those African slaves at an auction. That's going on right now. And you have the nerve to be complaining about racism in America? And feminists. There's women being stoned to death in the Middle East because they were raped. They were raped and they get stoned to death. And you have the nerve to complain about sexism in America? Shut the actual fuck up. Shut the fuck up. There's people right now that's been kidnapped by the cartel and they're waiting to be tortured or killed. There's people who's being human trafficked right now. Right fucking now.
Like black girls and women in America. KK Karen. This is why critical race theory is so important in our education system. Because I guarantee you, she ain't really ever really experienced a black reality in her life. Her reality of blackness is based on music and what she sees in pop culture. Not even like, she don't watch no BET or nothing like that. Not that sounds like a Darius Crooks statement. Actually, I'm sorry, because he think that defines blackness too. She clearly does not understand the plight of the black person or black people in America to make these sort of statements as if we aren't also under our own traumas here in America and have been for hundreds of years. Because again, critical race theory is, well, even when they were trying to implement it, I guarantee you in her school and her educational system, it wasn't a part of it. She thinks that blackness started in slavery. Guaranteed. Let's continue.
And you've got the nerve to be playing your victim card and act like you're such a victim in this country and you're so shit on in this country. I got news for you, dumbass. Everybody, shit has happened to everybody. Everybody's had a hard time in life. You're not unique, okay? You're not unique because you belong to a minority or you're part of the rainbow community or you're a woman. We're all fucking lucky as shit to be born in this country where you can't just be trafficked the second you walk out of your house.
That's delusion talking. How many of these stories, y'all, we were covering missing people months ago. We have resumed to covering missing people of color again. How many of those missing people of color do you think might be still gone due to trafficking? It is a thing. It is a thing. There is a whole genre of YouTube that is dedicated to black people who just randomly are popping up missing. Black women, black men harvesting organs. That issue is happening here in America. KKK Karen. Delusional ass.
Or beheaded if you happen to get raped. I mean, stoned to death.
Black women haven't experienced getting raped and abused, lynched.
Just maybe be grateful that you live in a country instead of being such an ungrateful, stupid, delusional prick.
Pot calling kettle black. So as you see from that backlash she originally got, she doubled down. And she wasn't done. She was not done.
So a recent video of mine seems to have upset members of a certain community, and all the backlash just really made me, just really do a deep dive, like do a soul search. And after all that, I still couldn't find a care.
You're gonna call us racist? You're gonna call us potential Timothy McVeighs? Fuck you. War.
To me, that sounds like some dog whistling kind of retort. to me. I don't know, maybe just to me. But anyway, poll question we're closing out, related to KKK Karen from TikTok. Well, formerly from TikTok because they banned her ass. Have you seen this TikTok from KKK Karen? 80% of you had not seen this. Yes, it's been going viral. 20% of you had. Then there's consequences to pay in this society for now, because if y'all let November happen and y'all want to stay home and say well, I saw somebody on one of the comments on one of my videos like, Vail don't say nothing, Vail don't do it. There ain't no good choice. The Democrats and the Republicans are both horrible choices for us. Ain't nobody to vote for. You better wake the fuck up. I ain't saying that neither one of them is perfect. I ain't saying that at all. But what I'm saying is one's a matter of life and death. If you go ahead and sleep through November's election, what I can tell you is that we ain't got to work. She ain't gonna, this KKK Karen and the KKK Kens ain't gonna never have to worry about being fired for this sort of behavior ever again. So she posted, I'm gonna take this down for a minute. She posted, she got banned from TikTok. Then she posted, oh no, I just got fired. She put that on Twitter. Her Twitter got blocked too. Then she got another one. Right, who's that? Alice. People Better Research Project 2025, that manifesto. Y'all do have a choice. Life or death. That's what you got. Life or Jim Crow already, all over again. And enslavement camps. Whatever they got planned. Poll question that's going out, the new one is, do you think that she learned her lesson after she got fired? Now she paid, she lost her little TikTok account. She got banned on Twitter because she was over there ranting too. Then she created a new account. And then she lost her job. And her job put out a formal letter, which I have never read. So I'm reading it here. I should have checked this to make sure I could see it because it's too tiny. I'm going to try though. We at Rofe, I guess it is Rofe of the Carolinas want to address a recent incident that has caused concern and upset amongst our stakeholders. A newly hired employee made inflammatory remarks on social media that do not align with the values and beliefs of our company. We want to make it clear that these sentiments are not representative of our organization, and we do not condone or support such behavior. As soon as we were made aware of the situation, we took immediate action to pull the employee from her assignment, which is not directly with any clients of ours. And the employee in question is no longer with our company. We are owned and operated by African-American female and immigrant-owned business and handled this situation as quickly as we could. She works for African-American female and immigrant and an immigrant. We want to assure you that we are committed to fostering a diverse, inclusive, and respectful work environment where all individuals are valued and respected. We understand the importance of upholding our principles of equality and understanding, and we will continue to strive to create a culture of respect within our organization. We appreciate the support and trust of our community, and we are dedicated to earning back any confidence that may have been shaken by this unfortunate incident. Thank you for your understanding and continued partnership. Sincerely, TL. I don't blame this company at all. They thought they accidentally hired. She was obviously on a covert operation. She sitting there dragging people of color and women, and then working for both. Wow, this world. So after that, even with all of that, of course, backlash from social media, losing her TikTok platform at least, but she gained supporters. You got one here that said, convicted. No, on y'all side, y'all can see it's just blocked on my side. Convicted wrongfully, just like Trump. Because her account was suspended on TikTok. I mean, not TikTok, Twitter, aka X. Then another person says, she literally doesn't miss. Thank you for posting this because now I'm obsessed with her page. She's one of the women on this earth who's genuinely smart and has the right opinions. It's the Matrix, y'all. It's the Matrix. Another one, Jack Shields, verified account. I don't know if they pay that monthly fee. Says it's extremely rare to watch a female so perfectly describe the world in 60 seconds. This is poetry. This is an insult to womanhood, though. It's extremely rare to watch a female so perfectly describe the world in 60 seconds. Women are unable to articulate and summarize profound thoughts, even though we know she, bat-ish crazy. So then there's more proof that she's a racist, clearly, but she's also generally a toxic person, is what I gathered through my research. One of the posts that pointed this out real quickly, she just tweeted out MAGA. That's it. Just MAGA. Then she put out a tweet saying, thanks, Black community, for helping to launch my new career in conservative media. You all played your role well, like the puppets you are. Heart emoji. Okay. And then she tweeted, we're back, baby. Old account got suspended. And you got Alex Jones saying, I think I'm in love. And the last little piece of this toxicity. I play these things so y'all know what's happening. Because what was it? Almost 70% of y'all didn't even know this was happening. Yeah, and here she is working for black people.
So all those nerds in high school, like the weird theater kids and the anime people and you know who I'm talking about, the people we didn't hang out with. So they've grown up now and they're the ones making the laws. They're the Mark Zuckerbergs. They're the Faucis of the world of fucking nerds. Those fucking dorks that never got laid in high school and they got a major chip on their shoulder against the normies. That's why you see all these fat ass fucks making laws. Oh, you can be obese and anorexic. Okay, sure. They're the ones inventing clown world. They're the ones in media. They're the actors. You wonder why actors are so politically leftist? Oh, right. It's because they're loser theater kids. They're the theater kids who grew up, and now they're telling me and you what to think. They're telling me and you what to do, and they're making the laws in this country. Well, it's time to stand the fuck up and stop being scared. Like, why are we scared of these people? They were massive losers in high school, and they're massive losers today. It's time to put the motherfucking nerds back in their place, stand the fuck up, and speak.
I love this comment. Madam X is saying she's probably trolling. That's the society we're in. Yeah, I believe that there's definitely a level of that as well going on here, where, you know, we are in a space where toxicity sells, bad behavior sells. And in cases like this, and it's just becoming more rampant, people like this are, yeah, they'll be shunned by society as a whole, but then they run over to the other side and they are promoted and celebrated. And I don't know how true it is that, I mean, I'm sure that conservative media will embrace her. What I'm not sure of is if they'll also make her, you know, a household name and a rich or whatever. But there's a place for people like that. Says, yeah, she was a mean girl in school. Clearly, when I saw that clip, I was like, oh, I see who you are. I see who you are. This ain't even just isolated to the racial thing. Like, this is just you. You're toxic. You just got a stink life attitude. She sounds like Christian Walker. She can't even curse right. Poor child. These people use us to get attention. That's why I'm not on TikTok. Yeah. But TikTok got way more. It's actually interesting information over there as well. Since first time I've ever seen her, but I hate her. She clearly wants attention. Clearly. She did all that for attention, for sure. She didn't have a single friend in school, and she doesn't have many now. Right. Look like Ann Coulter. Mm-hmm. If you holla MAGA and cash start rolling. Yeah. It's all about design. It's all about design. So that's that story. I definitely just wanted to share it. Let me close out this poll. Do you think she learned a lesson after getting fired? 99% of y'all said no. I purposefully timed that part of the poll before I showed that although she got fired, she's claiming that she's being embraced by conservative media. And I can see it. I can see them raising. I can see those MAGA people doing GoFundMes for her and all of that. They that's what they do. That's what they do. So our next story, poll question. Y'all didn't notice I had a brain freeze. I'm like, what am I supposed to do next? Oh, this was too long. Hopefully that'll help. Good. Ignore that the sentence structure because I have a character limit. But just know that we are asking, have you heard the story of the two brothers that tried to unalive their parents via a home attack? This was in 2015. Oh, let me take this down. Get on out of here, KKK Karen. Have you heard the story of the Irvin brothers? This was in September 5th of 2015. Yvonne Irvin called 911 from Gwynette County in Georgia, reporting that her children had drugged her, attacked her and her husband, and were in the middle during this 911 call of attacking the father during while she was on the phone with 911. But she was upstairs and they were downstairs. Her husband was in the garage trying to cause a commotion and get to the car so he could blow the horns to get the attention of the neighbors as his sons were attacking him. So when the police arrived, they found the house smelling like gasoline and burn marks in the floors and you know, blood throughout the house, and then other signs of violence. And then the brothers were interrogated. These are the mugshots from when they were interrogated. But let's start with the 911 call now. I'll kind of walk y'all through this tragic story, sad story, and tragic. Oh, get rid of KKK's video. It's buffering.
Gwynette County 911, what's the location of the emergency? Yes, please send someone to my house. My children are trying to kill me. They've attacked me and my husband. They drugged us with Xanax. They've attacked us and they're trying to kill us. Please hurry. Just down the phone with me, Okay. Please, they're trying to attack my husband. I don't know. Do you hear what's going on? They have a shotgun. We have a shotgun and a pistol in the house, and I can't find my pistol, so I'm assuming they've taken it, and they have his shotgun. So I don't know if they're going to plan on shooting him or not, but please hurry. Please. They strangled me and beat me. So I don't know what's going on. Say it again, ma'am. I can't hear you. I said I don't know why they've done this. I really don't. I guess they assume they want the insurance money. I'm not sure. I just heard them say, "Where did Mom go?" They headed upstairs now. Hello? The police are on their way. The police are on their way. Hello? Hello, Yvonne? Hello? Hello, Miss Yvonne? Hello?
So when the police arrived to the home, the brothers were there. They were shirtless. The father and mom were both transported to the hospital. They were both in critical care, but thankfully, neither of them, they were still, on this side of earth. Both of the boys ended up confessing to their crime, but their stories slightly differed, with the older brother trying to take most of the weight and blame of the situation, and then the younger brother kind of doing the same thing. So the story goes that they said that their parents were really the parents were emotionally abusive, neglectful, emotionally abusive, emotionally. The father, they said, was really into football. I guess he was a football player, et cetera, and he wanted the same for his boys. The older son was actually living away from home in college. He just happened to be home, I think, for the summer. And he, when the older son got out of football, because neither son loved football like that. The father was kind of treating him differently, and hold on, y'all, my phone just keep going off. Treating them differently and pulling money away, et cetera, like using financial ways of keeping them bound. The older son said that when he was originally supposed to go away to college, the parents had said that they would pay for it, and I think they would pay the remainder of whatever his scholarship was or whatever. Then he got there and he said like the situation changed and his parents were posers and they didn't have as much money as they claimed they did and all of these other things. Now, the younger brother was saying that he was in the home by himself as his older brother went away to college. And he was saying that his parents were he got out of football and his father just completely ignored him, ignored that he was existing. He said his mom wasn't that much better because they would do things like not talk to him from days on end. He wouldn't see them, and they were living in the same house. He said they would go as far as to plan trips and not even tell him and send him a text message, "We gone on vacation," and he wouldn't even know. So it sounded like, and this was all like during their confession, that they were breaking down all of that sort of stuff with the financial stress and the high expectations that his father had for them. Basically, it had become too much, and they both had been taken to their breaking point. And the older brother was also trying to protect the younger brother. So their plan was the older brother comes home, and his plan is, I can save us from this. And what we can do is we can just end their lives and then we could be free from them. So his plan was for them to blow up the house. So the plan was they turned on the gas. I forgot if it was the stove or the gas appliances in the house so that the house would fill up with gas. And then they lit a candle. And what ended up happening instead, the house didn't blow up. They never got enough gas fumes in the house to create that much combustion. So instead, they ended up burning a hole in the carpet or the floor or something. They then get scared that they're going to get in trouble, and they know that they can't explain that. So then the older brother's like, we got to do something more now. We got to just do it ourselves, because if they see this, we're going to get it. So then now they had already, their parents were up. They were watching the show before they turned on the gas and all that. The parents were up. They're watching TV. The boys put sleeping drugs in their food, and the parents then go up to bed. So they're thinking they're knocked out and they're never, they're going to be out. So we can blow up the house and have it catch on fire, and they won't wake up. When that didn't happen, they then decided to go upstairs and beat the parents to death. And they went up there, and the parents end up waking up, and it became a battle. And so that's the 911 call, the piece of the 911 call that we hear. So then, and this is their house. We get to the interrogation of the boys. Now, I should have linked it. I wasn't thinking, but this is on YouTube. It's about maybe an hour and a half. I ended up watching the whole thing like a week or so ago, like over the weekend. But here's a little clip of the pieces of the interrogation.
Try to relax. Breathe.
Cameron Irvin is nearly hysterical as he's processed into the Gwynette County jail shortly after his arrest for trying to kill his parents. In a separate room, 19-year-old Christopher confesses to the crime.
Never in my wildest dreams when I have pictured myself doing that. And that sorry doesn't begin to describe it, but...
Both describe a distant relationship with their parents and pressure to excel in sports, college, and the military.
Total about 14. My dad really didn't pay me any attention. I wish we could have been a more cohesive family unit. That doesn't justify what we did.
Explains a lot, though.
By any means.
In several hours of interrogation tapes, the teens are cooperative, admitting they tried to set their parents' house on fire, then tried to stab, suffocate, and beat them to death when the explosion plan failed.
We're gonna let you two see each other in a few minutes.
After their confessions, the brothers who describe each other as best friends are reunited. 17-year-old Cameron still sobbing uncontrollably.
That's alright, though. I love you, man. We fucked up, bud. But we up together. I helped. Okay? You did not do that on your own. And don't try to take that on. I'm not gonna let you. Hopefully, when Mom and Dad are okay.
They talk briefly about the botched explosion plot and the carnage that followed.
That was really violent. That was what I didn't want. You really stabbed him, bro. I wanted to stop. You know that.
And finally, they lament the future.
Why didn't we think about this? We're sociopaths. I can't do anything but become a mom. No. About law school. Law school, period.
The brothers recently pleaded guilty to aggravated assault and several other felonies and were sentenced to 20 years in prison. They could be paroled in 9 years. During their time in the Gwinnett County Jail, Christopher joined a substance abuse program and Cameron was treated for depression. Their parents have forgiven them and started a nonprofit to help other families in crisis.
So I saw a question there. Are the parents alive? Yes, the parents are alive. And what's interesting about this story, and the poll question I have out here is, would you forgive your children if they turned on you like that and literally tried to take your life? Had it not been for her 911 call, I don't think that they would be here to tell the story. I just don't. So the parents have spoken, like out of this tragic situation. The parents have spoken to the media, and they talked to Robbins. Here's a clip.
Georgia couple whose two sons allegedly drugged and brutally attacked them in their home. This case drawing national attention, especially after these parents publicly forgave their sons. It's still a mystery why the sons did it, and they have not entered a plea and have not been convicted of anything. We spoke to Yvonne and Zachary Irvin just moments ago, but first, a look at their story.
Please send someone to not house my children. They're trying to kill me.
It's the chilling 911 call that stunned the nation.
My husband has distracted them, and I was just able to get to the phone. Please hurry.
An unimaginable scenario. 22-year-old Christopher Irvin and his 17-year-old brother Cameron allegedly attacking their parents, and police say attempting to burn down their suburban Atlanta home.
Okay, how did they try and kill you, ma'am? They're trying to strangle us and shoot us, and they put Xanax in our food, and they thought we were asleep. They tried to attack us.
Minutes later, police arrived, discovering Zachary Irvin stabbed and covered in blood. The 50-year-old reportedly telling them his son hit him on the head with a shotgun. His wife, Yvonne, found lying beside their bed, badly beaten.
She not been able to make that 911 call. It's very uncertain what would have happened.
The sons, now behind bars, charged with 2 counts of felony aggravated assault and first-degree arson. Both will be tried as adults, facing as many as 60 years in prison. This morning, despite the horror their sons put them through that night, Zachary and Yvonne say they are standing by their sons. And joining us now are Yvonne and Zachary Irvin. Good morning to you both. Thank you for being here. I know that you had to spend some time in the hospital. How are your wounds healing, both of you?
Well, for me, I'm doing a lot better, both physically and mentally. God has really been good to me and helped my wounds to heal fast. I still have, a couple of little scars here and there, but for the most part, they're healing really well.
And Zachary, you spent the most time in the hospital.
Yep, and I'm healing fine. God has truly worked a miracle.
And I know you're here to deliver a message to people, but before we get to that, what happened? Can you tell us what happened?
Well, we don't know what happened. I mean, it's just our kids had one bad moment. It was one bad moment. And God will reveal in time to us and to the world, get all the answers, the questions answered, and things of that nature. But for now, we just need to focus on healing.
But you can understand people, especially watching at home, who have children.
Absolutely.
The question is why? Why? That comes over up again and again. Yvonne, were there any kind of signs, signals, anything? What was her behavior before this happened?
And that's the crazy part. Nothing. I mean, our children had prepared dinner for us the night before. That's why when in the call, I told you in the call that I found out during the whole process there had been Xanax put in our drinks. So we were drugged. We just didn't know what had happened. We didn't know, but we said we forgive our boys because that was totally out of character for them. They're not violent. They've never gotten in any type of trouble with violence.
No behavioral issues or drug issues or anything?
Just common teenagers.
As a teenager, they have issues with, cleaning their room and, having attitudes sometimes when you tell them to do something. Just like every family, I'm sure, experiences, but nothing that would indicate anything like this.
It was shocking to some people when the police report indicated that one of your sons said since the age of 11, he had been thinking of something like this, which makes some people speculate what was going on in the home for a child to having these thoughts for so long.
Again, we don't know. We just don't know.
Have you had a chance to communicate at all with your sons, to talk with them at all?
Yes.
And what have you said to them, and what have they said to you?
Well, we communicated to our sons that we love them unconditionally. We told them that we forgive them. We told them to, as always, anytime there's an issue or something like that, I've always taught my sons that there's going to be consequences, whether it's something you do good or whether it's something you do bad. They had one bad moment.
And I know you're calling on the public, too, to hopefully be able to forgive your sons as you have.
Absolutely. People don't know our sons, so that may be easy for them to say, well, I can't forgive. But if it was, I ask people to just take it personally. What if it was your child? What if it was your son? What if it was your relative, your friend?
And you did say these types of actions lead to consequences. You said that. What do you feel the consequences should be for your sons?
That's up to God to determine that, I just pray for mercy.
You keep referring to it as one bad moment.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that are going to say that is putting it mildly. They attempted
It's not mildly.
To do what they did, to attack you as they did.
Right.
That's a bad moment.
Yeah, there's people who are incarcerated now that have had one bad day. There are people who are put in certain situations to where, rage or something has caused them to have one bad moment. And that's why I keep saying it's one bad moment. By no means am I discounting what has happened. I look at my wife, I look at her scars, I look at, the things that happen. I look at me.
Your faith is remarkable, and your faith has certainly been tested. So the final message, Yvonne, that you want for people this morning?
Well, the final message, I think, for me is just, like I said, study the Word, because that's what's going to help you through any situation.
Well, Yvonne and Zachary, I know this is not an easy time for your family and for you to come forward and share your story as you have. We thank you. Thank you, and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Going forward.
Thank you.
I'm seeing all y'all comments, and it's got me thinking. I know Explorer said that you watched it as well. I'm curious at what you think based on watching the interrogation with the boys, because when they really opened up, you could see that there was years of trauma. And I believe the stories that, now I don't, justify, I don't think that it was that trying to take their parents' life was the answer. By no means do I think that. But I believe their stories in the interrogation, they were breaking down, boohooing. Even the oldest one, who was in his 20s, it was like they were returning. Well, the younger one was only 17. That was the one just being hysterical. Because I just do believe that they were receiving the emotional abuse that they were talking about, the psychological abuse for years. And for one of them to say he'd been thinking about it since he was 11 years old, and now you're 17, that's a lot. That's a lot. I saw like 70-something% of you had never heard this story before. I was a part of that number. Like I said, I can't assume because stuff is in the news and all of that we've all seen it, because I didn't see this one either. And then it was 70-something% of you who were saying, I think it was like 78, who said that you would not forgive your child if they did that sort of thing to you. If I was abusive or saw some wrongdoing on my part that could have led to that, like abuse on, I don't know, mental abuse or something, I don't know if forgive is the right word. Understand? I don't know. But they would never be able to be that close to me again. I couldn't see us having Thanksgiving dinner and them spending the night. None of that. None of that. I don't trust you no more when I'm sleeping. But they said that the parents also had at the end of when I watched the other video, the interrogation video, that the parents were actually going up to see their boys in jail, like visiting them often. At least that's the story they tell. Now, again, because the other poll question I got up here is, do you think there's more to the story than the parents are saying? 97% of y'all saying yeah, because they're like, no, I don't know what happened. I mean, I don't understand. God is good. God has been with us. It's such a blessing. God is over our life. There's been so much favor. I don't know. I mean, it was just a moment. It was just a moment. People have moments of trying to take the lives of their parents in such an extremely twice in one night. Because again, the first attempt was, we just gonna blow the house up and they'll go away and then we'll, move on with our life. That didn't work. And they was like, oh, well, we can't let them live. Let's go ahead and beat them and stab them to death. What? that's not a, oh, everybody have a moment. No, that's not. I ain't never had that moment. Never have I wanted to take my parents' life. I've been pissing mad. Never wanted to take their life. Anyway, Saint Center is saying, I gave you life and you try to take mine. Boy, you better hope I never see you again because I'm trying to take back my gift I gave to you. I love that. I chuckled when I saw that. Right. Give my gift back. I gave you life. I'm taking it back. Michelle is saying they were emotionally immature. I can't feel sorry for them because the oldest was 19. I think the oldest wasn't he older? Or did I miss? I don't know. It's been, y'all, when I be pulling this stuff for y'all, sometimes I can't dig into every little thing. I got to just pull it and get the show going. But I thought he was 22 or something. I thought he was in the 20s. He could have dropped out of a job and took the younger one with him. I do agree with that he was already out of the house. He was in college, but he was out of the house. Right. Thank you, Explorer, is confirming. He was 22. If it was a situation where he felt like the parents were just so horrible, I know he was dependent on them because he was even talking about his car note and all these things that because they weren't giving him as much money as they said they were going to give him at first. He was struggling. He had a new car and all these other things. So some of the suspicion is that the older brother was really plotting because of the financial hardships that his parents had put him in addition to his father treating him like he's less than because he didn't stick with football, although he did go to the military and was in college. So that was part of the speculation. But again, I think the older son was thinking financially like, well, yeah, I want to get rid of him, but I also I'm going to lose their support. So I need a way to still have support. So at least we'll get the insurance part. I think in his mind, he was on that track. I don't think the younger one was quite there. I think the younger one was purely emotional of, they're abusive or neglecting me, or, he giving my father ignore me and all of that stuff. Patrice is saying I didn't click on it. Patrice said the only reason they forgave them is because they know they did something messed up to them kids. That's how I feel about it, Patrice. I really do. I feel like clearly, because in that interview, they gave nothing. Also, in the video I watched with the interrogation, they said that the oldest son was addicted to prescription drugs. I forgot the exact drugs, but he was addicted to drugs. And in the other clip I did play for y'all, they said that when he went to jail, he was in drug rehab. So, and the other one was for mental health. Something is not right. They talking about God and God this and God that. Yeah, that always throws me off when people because people use God to love bomb people. And I was a person at one point in my life who that worked on. It don't work on me no more. It don't work on me no more. It actually makes me raise an eyebrow. Like, why you so heavily trying to use God? Are you using it as a tactic to, have me let my guards down so you can love bomb me in some way or get over on me in some way? Because I'm gonna be so blinded by the fact that you love God too. That don't work on me no more. It's actually a red flag. Unfortunately, it's gonna make me try to vet you harder. Those parents are hiding something. Yes. liars. Yep. I'm with you. That is, and not to blame the victim, because y'all know I don't like to blame victims, but I do like to get to the root cause of things. Be very interesting to see what's happening now with them. It'd be interesting to hear the boys' version of the relationship now, because what we've heard is that the parents go to see them often. The parents are saying they forgave them. And if they had this tumultuous relationship before, from the boys' perspective, I would love to see hear from their perspective what it's like now. That's beyond a bad moment. The two are making light of the situation. Yeah, I feel like those parents, I feel like they almost shouldn't have did that interview. They ain't get nothing. They ain't say nothing. I mean, I guess if they were doing it only to try in some way to vindicate their children, I guess. But I already had my feeling like they deserve to, they got to face the consequences, but I felt sorry for them. Again, watching the interrogation, not what I showed y'all wasn't quite enough, but when you watch the interrogation and you hear their stories and then break down, even though, again, I think the oldest had a little bit of privilege and being spoiled, and I think there was some financial motive there on his part. I do believe that. And even the mom said that in the 911 call. How she know they were drugged with Xanax? Can they test for that though? Wouldn't it be that I don't know for sure, but would it be maybe that they tested the parents for that, like when they got to the hospital and through the investigation and saw it in their system? Now, if it was there voluntarily or not, who knows? But I wonder if that's how they know. Because at first during the 911 call, I think she said they put it in their food. By the time they did the interview with Robin Roberts, I think they were saying she said they put it in their drink. So maybe they discovered it late. Maybe they just found out for a fact during the trial. The sons might have admitted to it. Maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Did that happen in the interrogation? Did they admit to it in the interrogation? It's been so long. It ain't really been so long. I just got too much in my head that I don't remember that level of detail. You said, but I thought the boys wanted their insurance money. I think that definitely was part of their ultimate plan. Like, they'll be gone, we ain't got to deal with them no more, and then we'll have this money so we can continue to survive. I think that was in part of it for sure. They had been planning it for who knows how long. It wasn't rage or single moment. Something is off here. Yeah, that definitely it would. And thank you for that part, because it was also premeditated. So these kids these days are too soft. I hear you. I do hear you. I do hear you. Like that's a little much. But also, it also doesn't mean that the type of rearing that some of us got and the lack of being able to have real conversations with adults, being seen and not heard, I don't feel like that was healthy for us either. Many of us have spent half of our adulthood trying to heal and overcome and find our real selves from being suppressed as children and youth when they wouldn't let us say what was on our mind, wouldn't let us have an opinion, wouldn't let, and talking down to you, putting you in situations with adults who took advantage of you, abused you, teased you, gave you low self-esteem. Like, we got some issues that ain't okay. That I don't think they made us really hard, but I don't think it was in the right way. Some of us, we got some real thick skin because of what we've been through that then we had to heal from to evolve to who we are today. That's why I can deal with this internet ish, because people be doing shenanigans on here, and I'm like, do you know what I've been through? Do you know what I've been through? Your fucking comment ain't bothering me. Go somewhere. And thank you for your like and view. Said, yeah, the parents are not saying nothing, but I get it. They saying mind your business out of art. Yes, behind I'm with that, but if that's their perspective, mind your business, get out of mind. What the hell you on a nationally syndicated morning, very popular morning news show? Say no comment. Move on with your life. There are many survivors of true crime and assaults, etc., just as bad as that, worse than that, etc., and they never say a word to the media. They had that option. So don't come on the news. Don't come in the public making statements and then telling me to stay out your business. You've made it my business. You made it my business. That's sorry anything. Now I got to put these back on. These comments a little smaller. A lot of us are blessed to have made it through because we had raggedy. It's true. I talk about this stuff on Patreon, but I've had to have some conversations, some healing conversations years later. 3 decades in, like, hey, when you was doing that and you ain't never do this and you did that and you always do this, had to have a conversation because it's like I'm carrying this stuff around. And this is why you think, why I snap at you so easily. Because I'm not healed from when I was 3 years old. That's why. It happens. I was scared of I would be scared of my child if they did something like that. Yeah, I guess I don't know if I don't like the idea. If even the thought of saying I'm scared of my child don't work for me. I'm old school in that way. I'm like, don't you ever think that I'm gonna be scared of you. If I brought you in this way, I can help create you. Ain't no way I'm gonna be scared of you. Ain't no way I'm be, even if I'm like, that nigga crazy. Like, you gotta watch your back with him. I ain't gonna never say that word ain't coming up. I'm scared of you? I might be scared of what I'm gonna do to you if you cross me. That I can go with. I can go with that statement. You make me scared of what I would do to you. That's how I roll. It is how I roll. It really is. Right, Val, the overuse of God makes me suspicious. Yeah. I've been done by so many people who either just used God to manipulate me, or they were actual Christians who weren't no good. They still had a lot of work to do. So yeah, that don't make me trust you. That don't make me trust you. Some of the people I've been scammed by the worst have proclaimed to be Christians. Darius Crooks, for example, one that y'all actually know of. And I got other stories, plenty of other stories. I just don't understand some of my mom's thinking. I thought she was so mean. Now I know better. True. Trying to portray an image to everyone instead of being transparent. Catherine, I'm with you. I feel like that's what the parents were doing as well. And one of the oldest son, if I'm not mistaken, was the one who said that during the interrogation, that they have this image that they like to uphold to the public, but behind closed doors, that's not the life they're living at all. No matter how old I get, if I gave you life, you better not even think you can put your hands on me. Yeah, I'm old school in that way. I've never tried to put my hands on my parents, or never would even dream of it. Yeah, none of that. I don't know. I'm built different than some of y'all kids out here. Well, all right. Well, that brings the first half of our show to an end. I like these trending topics. They move a lot quicker. It's an hour, 38 minutes. I could really just end the show. I could end the show. It's like an awakening. I could end the show. However, I do have another topic that I worked at for y'all, and I do enjoy this time with y'all. So what we're going to do is take a slight little break, and I'm going to play us a little commercial break, and then we're going to come back with our story, Darius Crooks related story of the forever problem, aka the Hollins family story. I'm like, where's my trailer? And I'll be right back.
about all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm still tryna fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on. Maybe put my hands on my head like the Macarena. They want you walking on board like Kima. And give a F to you like John Cena. Putting blood on the brand new Beamer. Tryna earn they stripes like Adidas. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a Keto. And expose to a cat like a cheetah. They smoke my partner like reef. Dímelo porque yo no entiendo. Mi gente must really need Jesus. They shed real blood. I never seen the crypt and I believe it. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Y'all just talk, don't live it. And just took that route that's seen it. And I'm so outspoken like Reason. Jimmy Neutron, boy, Young G's. And I'm a self-made man.
I actually interviewed Darius Cooks on my radio show. Might have been 5 or 6 years ago before he blew up on social media. And Justice was just articulated. He actually went on Periscope Live during the radio show. It is his own show in the studio during the show that he was supposed to be on. But he's a narcissistic individual. And because of that, he's had many of these run-ins. I think there was a scandal a few years ago where he was doing fake credit repair for people and got sued. His restaurant got closed down, those sorts of things. So he maintains these online scams, preying on the hearts and minds of his followers. And even just articulated after our show, because we tend to ridicule people when they act up on our show. He actually went on Periscope Live to talk about me and our producer and some of the other guests after the show. So this has been going on for a long period of time. Now, legally, when somebody talks about you online, that's just talk. But once they get into the place of making threats, either violence, threatening to release personal information, well, that's where you can actually file a criminal report against this individual. And if they do release improper or censored information, personal information that is privileged, that absolutely you can report that to the Georgia Bureau of Investigations or to the Federal Bureau of Investigations for them to look into it, particularly if you have multiple individuals who are involved in this.
All right, we are back for the second half of the show. We're going to keep it moving. I just put a poll question in the chat, and that is, do you think that Darius Crooks creates drama on purpose to make money off of the internet? Do you think that some of the antics and things that we see are literally contrived, literally created and curated like a television show, like a TV producer, creating storylines, like a reality show? Do you think that that's what Darius Crooks is up to just for the sake of getting likes, views, and his monthly Facebook check that he brags about monthly? Oh, I got $20-something thousand this month. Oh, I got $40,000 this month. And the more drama he creates, the bigger those checks are. Do you believe it? So just a quick little recent update. Then we're gonna go back in time to 2021 with the Hollins family story. One of the things that was pointed out to me is Darius Crooks had recently been posting about some drama he had on a Delta flight. And it was very reminiscent because we had just did our Corey live on Friday, where we did our update on Corey, Corey's afterlife. And Corey had been talking about a racist Karen encounter on one of his flights. And what I pointed out to those of you who were there and have watched the replay is how Corey has begun to mimic Darius Crooks and his way of curating and creating drama and documenting it for social media. Because when I saw it, I was like, this Crooks all day. Crooks didn't taught him how to do this, or he's been observing. I should say he's been observing, because Darius Crooks ain't trying to teach nobody nothing, really. He's been observing Darius Crooks, and he's mimicking him. So just for those of you who did not, were not around and didn't get to see it, Corey was on a flight, I think on his way back. Obviously, this is a foreign country. He was on his way back from his vacation, and he encountered a lady who he claims was treating him as if he did not belong in first class, in the line for first class and priority boarding. And so here's a video of, well, this is a really short video of Corey in this moment.
I want you to see something over my shoulder. You see that? So I'm first class, first seat, first class. And guess what happened? Lady wanted to know, are you first class? Are you keyboard? Hey, how are you? Hi, I'm living the dream. Woo, watch your, hey, watch your step. Watch your step.
So Corey is recounting now in his live video. You can barely see the lady, but that's the lady he was trying to point out. Again, I wasn't there. I don't know the details. What I'm really responding to and commentating on is how Corey is trying to become a mini Darius Crooks, which is never a good thing. Never a good thing. So Corey goes as far as after that, because that's not good enough. He can't just do a quick little video and show the lady and say, hey, can you guess what she did to me? Blah, 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 and sit down and just fly your ass home. No. So on the flight, now he's typing this long ass narrative about what he claims occurred with photos of his ticket, the seat he's sitting in, this fake social media smile, all of these things for clicks and views. Again, learned it from Darius Crooks. Actually, you can even look at his likes, reactions. He got over 2,200 reactions, 324 comments, 12 shares. It's working. Internet engagement. Again, toxicity sells. This is the foolishness that sells. So he says, well, I'm not going to do his voice tonight. It ain't happening. Well, it happened again. So my flight seat in first class, seat number 1, we got to go to line up zone 1. And this white lady asked me, are you supposed to pre-board? Ma'am, I'm about to start yelling. I'm sorry, when it's all in caps, I know it's going to be yelled. I'm standing here, up here just like you. And as a matter of fact, I'm in first class. Didn't say one word. Why would I know? She seating further back than me. More people come over. The gate agent comes over and makes a loud announcement. She says, ladies and gentlemen, we are pre-boarding in zone 1 only. If you are not pre-boarding zone 1, please step to the side or your ticket will not be scanned and scammed, because they scamming y'all. They scamming y'all on this internet. Guess who was looking at me like, she's talking to you, and then slid right in front of me. At this point, I was about to move right back in front of her. But Lord, I done gave my life to the Lord. Right when I was about to kindly push my way by her, another agent came over, looked at me and said, sir, I was scared you here. Y'all, guess whose ticket had an issue at the gate? Laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji. I said, shit, right on by her. I said, Corey, had the money, y'all. It's poor people around. 2024. Wiped right up to my first class seat. Hashtag got money now too. That's so extra. It's just extra even trying to read it. Jesus. Right. Saint Centerville can't help but to do court. I can't help myself. Poll question we're closing out. Do you think that Darius Crooks creates drama on purpose on social media to make money from the internet? 100%. Wow. 100% of y'all said, yeah, of course. He's actually stated it. Like, he used to be a little bit more covert about it, but now he's just flat out with it. He actually was saying it today. He was on live. He had took a couple, I don't know, I think he took 24 hours off and they having a fit. And he was like, yeah, I was my wonky eye been acting up. I had to go to the eye doctor, and my wonky eye, they had to do some work on it. And so I couldn't see because they gave me these drops and blah, 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 and this and that. And then he also told them, y'all asking all these damn questions. This is another reason I ain't come back. This is another reason I was gone. Like, she's so much. She is so much. So then, again, that was Corey. We did that on Friday. And then by the weekend, this is Darius Crooks. Darius Crooks posted his own version of a flight Karen situation. I was like, these two. These two. I don't even know what it say. I wasn't there. Oh, poll question. I didn't sit there and put it out in total. Should I release our merch and t-shirt line for Crooks, for the Crooks mugshot and our other taglines? I should have been specific and said, will you purchase? If you ain't gonna purchase, you need to say no. If you're gonna purchase, say yes. Because y'all ain't finna have me do all this work that it takes to roll out a product line and design this stuff and pay, design, graphic design and stuff, and then 3 of y'all buy the shirt. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just say no. If you're not gonna buy it, it's fine. It's fine. If you want it, we'll do it. If you're like, nah, man, that's not necessary. It's fine. I'm not gonna be offended. I will be offended if you make me go through all this work and then y'all don't buy it. And then y'all make me just keep reminding y'all, hey, I did all this work. Y'all get a shirt, get a hoodie, get a mug, get a whatever. Please and thank you. So Darius Crooks did this long post. I ain't never read it. Told you I'll be grabbing this stuff. This is a blind read. But as I always say, when it's long and drawn out like that, it's number drama. Darius Crooks version. Now he been doing this longer, so his narrative is definitely more, seems more real life. He's gonna provide more details. I can already see. Good Lord, bunch of unnecessary stuff. This girl, she need to go ahead and start writing fiction novels, sci-fi. That's what the hell this is. So Darius Crooks said, boarded a Delta flight to head home. I fly first class because I like the convenience. I called for they called for zone 1. Sound like listen to the similarities. This can't be real life. They called for zone 1. I scanned my boarding pass and got on board. On the aircraft, I carry 2 things, a backpack and a portable 88 key keyboard that folds in half. Why we gotta know how many keys on the keyboard? Naturally, when she lies, she gives these sort of details, so you get lost in these details and don't realize she just created some shit. Naturally, I put the keyboard in the overhead bin and packed in the overhead bin, the backpack under the seat in front of me, and I click in my seatbelt and order my departure beverage, cranberry tequila with a splash of Sprite. This girl detailed her snapping her seatbelt. This how you know it's a lie. This how you know it's a lie. Because she giving all these, remember the narrative about the wet finger. Again, not making fun of that situation for those of us it's happened to for real. But her dramatics with all the details that don't mean nothing to the story. It's to get you lost so you're not fact checking. I'm in seat 2A. It's a window seat. Seat 1B boards behind me. I'm sitting and browsing Facebook as she asks, whose bag is this? Why we gotta know she on Facebook? Y'all seeing this level of contrived detail? I let her know it's mine. She asked if she could move it so her bag could fit above her seat. To which I replied, I'd rather you not move it. I put it where I preferred. She gave me some line about her bag not being able to fit, and I asked if she could turn my bag. I told her the bin wouldn't close if that happened. No, she asked if she could turn his bag. And he said, I told her the bin would not close if that happened. Y'all know she difficult. Y'all know she difficult. The lady probably got stuff in her purse that she wanted to access once they got in flight, and she like, just be easier if I could just reach up and grab what I need to grab. You ain't finna play this keyboard on this flight. So it don't matter if it's a bin or two behind you. She asked me why she couldn't move my bag. I told her that I put my bag where I preferred it to go. She said that's it above her seat. I reminded her that where other bin spaces available in the cabinet preference. She got loud. Of course, he got to always make it somebody else's fault. The flight attendant asked what the issue was. Now, you know that he causing a commotion if the flight attendant intervened. You know he causing a commotion. We've seen her do this multiple times. Too many times to count. I told her. She looked around and told 1B to put her bags in any other available bin space, as the one she wanted was already occupied. Reluctantly, she did so, but not before giving me the most sinister look as she could muster up. I'm still searching for the outlet mall that had a special or buy one, get one on Audacity. And if you're wondering, she's not black. And before you get ready to comment, you should understand, I'm not racist. That's another lie. We got so many clips on that. Wait till I put that story. Wait till I put that show together. Woo, she gave me so much to work with. It's so much, that's why it's going to take a while. Y'all got to chill out with this white supremacy complex. Y'all got to chill out with this white superiority complex. The microaggressions ain't cute no more. It's 2024, not 1963. Girl, get out of here. Get out of here. You the Karen. You the Karen. Black Karen. Anyway, so that's Darius Crooks and his social media antics. Most recent, this past weekend. She kind of been a little quiet other than that, because she ain't even been online really because of her wonky eye. Put your wonky eye emojis in the chat if you're a channel member. So moving on. Now, this is a classic. Let me close this out. 77% of you say, it's only 43 votes. This ain't enough to make me move. We'll see. We'll see. I'll do this poll another time too. 77% of you said that you will purchase a shirt. But that, to me, that's only if I'm, doing the math here. That's 20 some odd people. Yeah, that ain't quite enough for the amount of work they got to go into it. We'll see. We'll see. I see y'all still voting, but I got to close that out. Moving on. Next poll question. Thank you for your. Next thing you know, I look at the live chat. There's a bunch of wonky eyes staring at me. I'm sorry. I should have thought about that before I said it. I'm like, ah. I'm not like Crooks though. I'm not bitch made, so you can go like, ah. Y'all didn't see all that, but I did. It did startle me. But I'm a man, so I don't be like, ah. But it did. It was like, what? What the hell's going on? All these wonky eyes staring at me on the chat. Is the chat coming alive? Okay, poll question going in the chat now. Are you familiar with what occurred between the Hollins family and Darius Crooks? So for months, I've been getting like recently, it's just started to stir up again. Well, I've been getting a lot of questions about in our intro video, there's a man who is addressing Darius Crooks, and he's saying, Mr. Williams, I need you to give me a call. Basically, I'm not down with this internet stuff. Call me, blah, blah, blah. And I've gotten many times. I even see it in the chat sometimes. Who that man? Who is that? What is that about? Well, today we're going to not only tell you who he is, Don Von Hollins, but give a breakdown of how all of that came to be. So this is his wife, Danielle Hollins. I got to screen share these because these, they're not formatted properly to come in. So let me screen share, make sure our volume is good. Hold on. Oh, what's the way over there? Okay. Make sure I get y'all volume as good as possible. All right. So this is Don Von Hollins. And this is the clip that's in the beginning of, in one of our trailers in our opening. Is that buffering? Why is it doing that? Usually these start right away. Oh, Lord. It was playing earlier. Here we go.
Again, Mr. Williams, directly from Mr. Williams. Again, Mr. Williams, I invite you to conversate with me directly. I don't do all this internet stuff. The problem is you're going after my family, you post my children, and then you mention my name. So you and I, we need to have a conversation. And yes, this is a forever problem.
So that was Don Von Hollins, who is the husband of Danielle Hollins. So the overview on the story is that Danielle Hollins has been a person who has been around, or I should say was around the exposing Darius Crooks crew way back in 2021 when this all got ramped up to the next level. It's been again. Some people will think like, oh, people just started talking about Crooks in 2021 when it's in 2019 when his restaurants closed. No. People been talking about Darius Crooks since the early 2000s. Since as early as now, I'm learning as early as 2001 when I knew him, when I first met him. I got a news story I ain't even know nothing about. People been knowing that she was a stunt queen, and then it slowly grew. And of course, 2011 going into 2012 is when Darius Crooks had finally grifted as much as he could in Chicago, and everything was coming for him, and he escaped off to New Jersey, not even New York. So anyway, that people have been airing him out ever since then. But in 2021, it got to a public level. The media started to finally pay attention in a real way. So Danielle Hollins was definitely a very active member in the coalition, the Exposing Coalition during that time. She was very active on Twitter. She was even had an Instagram, and she was sharing information, trying to help spread awareness so that people didn't accidentally get taken advantage of by Darius Crooks and fall prey to his cult, like we've seen many do. We've seen it. So Danielle actually started out as one of Darius Crooks. She was a newer follower to him during the pandemic. She found him during the pandemic, found him to be entertaining, as many people do. You know, the lives and stuff. She's like, oh, this is different. It's something to keep me busy. It's pandemic. You know, many of us were just trying to find other stuff to do. So she started watching him. Very quickly thereafter, she started to notice the toxicity, the fact that he was verbally, mentally, emotionally abusive to the Black women that followed him. She also then started to notice that people were complaining about not getting their products and services, and that they were being disrespected if they spoke out. They were being blocked. They were being cyberbullied, all kinds of things. And so she decided, this is crazy that this man is on social media actively being a predator, and people aren't, and he's thriving. And so I'm gonna do my part to make sure people know about this. So she started sharing it on Instagram. This is around not Instagram, Twitter. And this is around the same time that, later on, the Kitchenista in 2021, I think around April or so, if I'm not mistaken, of 2021, she took to Twitter and was relentless every day, all day. She was posting stuff, outing Darius Crooks and his years of crimes. A lot of the receipts you see today, she was one of the first people to get it out to the masses. And so Danielle was a part of that. So long story short, as things started to wind down a little bit, Danielle, she kept at it. She had the Instagram going. She was active on Twitter, et cetera, et cetera. And so at some point, Darius Crooks decided to turn his devilish sights on Danielle. And he's like, if I can shut her up, maybe I can get it all to shut up. I wasn't posting as much. Like, I wasn't creating as many videos. I wasn't doing nowhere near what I do now. I wasn't going live. I was doing all these pre-recorded videos that take forever to get out. And so it was like her voice was a daily voice for sure. I remember that because I was kind of keeping watch to learn, see what was happening, stuff I was missing. She was recording the live. She was one of the people who were recording lives even before I started doing it. And so the IG lies, I should say, Darius Crooks IG lies. And so Darius Crooks decided to put his sights on her to, I know he thought that he could shut everybody down because he was so used to shutting down individuals for years. Like, me and the food truck business partner, he looked at it like he shut us down. As far as silencing us, Danny Rose and Mel Ford and the Kitchenista at points, he thought, he shut her down. I think to this day, he might still think that. Various people throughout, what's his name? Bruce B. Cookin, his ex mentee, Christy, his ex manager of Greens and Gravy. All these people, just a long laundry list of people he's been able to silence. And he thought that he would be able to do it to her as well. Well, really the whole group of us. So can I pull that in? Or is it right here? Hold on. Okay, I got a little overview picture. What the heck is that at? Oh, here it is. Did I pull it in? Let me see if I can pull it in. I should be able to pull it. Oh, no, I can't. Okay, I got to screen share this. Hold on. Let me open it. And let me know as I start to play this. Have you seen this video? I'm going to put the poll out. Let me close this one out. Are you familiar with what occurred between the Hollins family and Darius Crooks in 2021? 61% of you are aware. I think I'm probably going to get way more detail. This is the deep dive. I did more of a deep dive. It was real quick and a little impromptu because I decided to do it today. But y'all probably going to hear some things and see some things you didn't know before, I'm thinking. And 39% of you did not know. So you're definitely going to learn. You'll be ahead of the curve in a minute. Curve. I say curb. Okay. No. Screen share. And here we go. And let me know. I'm about to put the poll question out. Have you seen this video of mine from way back in 2021 when I was covering this story? Y'all, I've been covering this stuff a long time. Why I know so much. Brooks was under the impression that things had just kind of faded off. The only person who was still very consistent and diligent on a major level with airing out and exposing Darius was Danielle in using her platforms. In my opinion, what I really think happened was that Darius thought everyone is gone, I've defeated everyone, and the only person I got left is that woman over there or that person over there who is blasting and airing me out on a daily basis. He calls it bullying, when in all actuality, it's really her advocating for the victims and, being a truth teller. It's really all that it was, and reporting. And so Darius, through the works of, I'm sure his D-wives and all of that, they finally figured out who was behind that account. And they found that it was Danielle Hollins. And they'll get into their story as I do this reaction. But long story short, once he found out who she was, he decided to air her out, put her picture as his profile picture on his social media platforms, change his name to Danielle Hollins, and then send a note saying, tell her husband, Don Vaughn, he said hi. He posted a picture of her children, and those pictures are still up, and he refuses to take them down. And even when Roland Martin addressed Darius on Twitter in regards to having the children's pictures up, Darius's response was, F those kids. So again, this is the person we're talking about. So you can have, an opinion on either side of how you feel about whether or not he should have doxed Danielle and outed her because she was telling the truth about him, or even just archiving the truths about him. It wasn't like she was making up anything at all. But wherever you fall on the spectrum of whether you think it was fine for her to do it, or whether you think, well, she did that, he had the right to, dox her and put her picture on his profile and do all the shenanigans. Either way, what I think you can't argue with is that her children, vulnerable, innocent children, do not deserve to be caught up in this and potentially put in harm's way by having their photos out there. And he has a large following. Don't know if it's that 1.3 million that he claims, but because those are bought, we'll talk about that later. But either way, we know he has at least tens of thousands of followers, because I have tens of thousands. So he has more than me for sure, because he's been doing it for a decade. So with tens of thousands of followers at least, you're putting out pictures of vulnerable, innocent children, giving the location of where their parents live. In my opinion, you are putting those children in danger. So that was literally my content in real time as those sort of things were going down. As I stated in that overview video, Darius, I had braids back then. My hair was long. Sometimes I regret cutting my hair off. That's a whole nother story. But so at that time, Darius Crooks had not only again doxed the Hollins family, which is what caused Don Vaughn Hollins to come out, because Darius Crooks put that man's name and his picture, his children or their children out. That's what caused Don Vaughn Hollins to come out and say, hey, man to man, we need to have a conversation. And then we're going to get more into that, because I even got a little interview. So this was Danielle Hollins' tweet. Y'all see this is from March of, this was 2022. She says here, stalking, so this is in response to Darius Crooks' gaslighting. Stalking, harassing, it's called holding someone accountable. He's been getting away with this ish for far too long. Stand for something or fall for anything. We stand for something. Judging by the comments, y'all stand for anything. I don't even know. I think this might be some other drama too. There's a whole so some stuff started happening behind the scenes. I can't ignore that it did happen. I'm going to talk about it one day when it's appropriate time to talk about it. But there began to be things that expanded from this as well that were not directly Darius Crooks related. This is why I have to pre-read everything. Then this was another one of her tweets where this was a trolling tweet, which I actually enjoy very, very immensely. This is a classic one. Throwback Thursday, when the Carolina Pound Cake Company was shut down by the state, and Darius was telling the D-wives that he had to catch up on orders. Then it went to he didn't have time to deal with cakes anymore. Then it went to it's no longer profitable, not being so transparent. So for those of you who don't know, and that when we do our deep dive on the Carolina Pound Cake Company, It's very interesting because that was a business that Darius Crooks started through. That's a business that Darius Crooks started during the pandemic. And he claimed it was extremely successful. Again, this is his version. Now, Palma did say that there were orders. So they weren't getting orders. She wasn't standing against the wall, against them garbage bag infested walls with birds flying around and all kind of other rodents. But Darius Crooks, when Palma quit and the health department shut it down, Darius Crooks was telling the D-Hive that he shut down the website to not take any new orders. However, he already still had a backlog of orders that he hadn't never got to. So those people, now what we don't know for sure is how many of those orders, but it had to be a couple hundred, I'm assuming, at least 100 or more. It had to be, because what you then saw was an influx of D-Wives, D-Hags saying, well, when I'm gonna get my cake? I ordered my cake 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. And they were waiting, and then they started getting blocked. And then not to mention the people who were actually getting cakes before all that happened, who were getting the moldy cakes and confetti in them and too dry and all these other things. Quality was bad. So what Darius Crooks was telling them initially, he didn't tell them that, hey, I'm having to close the business. He first told them he had to catch up with orders. He tried that for a couple weeks. Then he finally said he didn't have time to deal with the cakes anymore. Now, this was after, I want to say about a month or two, because they kept starting to ask, when are you going to do the cakes again? Meanwhile, everyone who never got them cakes from the back orders have been blocked because they're saying, where's my money? I didn't get my cake. Where's my money? Give me my refund. He blocking all of them. And then he finally just said, well, no, I'm not doing the Carolina Pound Cake Company no more. It was no longer profitable. I thought you said you had tens of thousands of orders. Thousands of cake orders. How is that not profitable? He only had like 3 or 4 employees. How's that? And he was paying them just at minimum wage. Just at minimum wage. Palma and the other baker had to negotiate for $1 raise. I forgot how much. I think Palma, I don't know for sure if I'm quoting it right. Palma wasn't making more than, I think, $18. I think she makes somewhere between $16 and $18 an hour. The other girl, I think, was making $15, begged for a raise because she found out Palma got $1 raise, and I think she got up to about $16. It was not a lot of money per hour. And then you had one other guy. That was his staff at the Carolina Pound Cake Company. The Trap Bakery. How is that not profitable? When you he was charging about $60-something per cake. Even the shipping and stuff was less than what he charged them. All of that. Gaslighting. We'll get into that one day. We ain't going to spend too much time on that. So then this was an exchange that I had with Danielle. She says, and you can follow me on Twitter if you didn't know. I'm on Twitter, pretty active. Also on Instagram and at both of them. Well, all my platforms is I am Velby. She says to me, he feels a void in their life. So we're talking, obviously we're going back and forth about some DHAGs and the parasocial psychological cult relationship they have with him. And she went on to say he feels a void in their life. He engages and tells stories. Yes, he was doing it today. He makes them vulnerable and he gains their trust. It is then that he can sell them whatever he wishes and they will buy it. So keep in mind, Danielle was a follower of his for a short while, who, because she had discernment and common sense and intelligence, she was able to see through this. And then once she saw through it and was like, oh, there's something majorly wrong with this. And she continued to watch, to observe and all of that. She started to analyze a lot of the stuff that I'm telling y'all, that I've told y'all. She says, like Velby said on his YouTube last night. So y'all see this This again back in 2021 or 2022. Been talking about it that long. She says, like Vel B said in his live last night, in his YouTube last night, Darius is very calculated. He knows what he's doing by going live 3 times a day, 3 to 5 times a day. Today he was making up. He already went live twice today after he took, I think, yesterday off. Maybe I think it was yesterday. At the going live 3 times a day at the same times. He does kind of go live within the same time windows. He's the one constant thing in a lot of these women's lives. They want him, regardless of him being gay. That's another part of it. He's put himself in the schedule, the life schedule of these people. Right, Shanice saying $65 to $75 small cakes, right. And dry and not that good and not that flavorful, except for the ones that Palmer, when Palmer was there, because people had even started saying the cakes were so had gotten so much better. So then Don Vaughn did multiple addresses to Darius Crooks to get his attention because, you know, Darius Crooks is bitch made. So what did he do when he was approached by Don Vaughn, who was saying, hey, I don't do the social media stuff. Let's talk about this man to man. What do you think Darius Crooks is doing? Cowering and hiding behind his IG lies and lying. I remember one time I laughed at it. I don't know if I got the clip or not. It's been so long. I know it, but I don't know if I got it. I think I might have it. But anyway, he at one point when this first started happening, people like, her husband after you. He said he want to talk to you. And he said, if he find me outside and he approached me and he hit me, I'm gonna fall to the ground and scream and call the police. He was admitting he bitch made that he ain't gonna go toe to toe with the man. It's true. I already know that. It's true. It's true. But he said it. So here's Don Vaughn's second message via the internet to Darius Crooks, who was not responsive. Is buffering.
Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams. Knock, knock, knock. I'm not going away. I'm not going away, sir. You fucked with the wrong person. You messed with the wrong family. You called out the wrong names. I'm not going away. This is not going to end. I'm here. You're going to go to sleep thinking about me. You're going to wake up in the morning thinking about me. Forever. Forever. And it's not even about me wanting some attention. I don't need no attention. I don't need no money from this. You know what I'm saying? I don't need none of this. You know what I'm saying? I would rather none of this happen. None of it. But I'm not going away, sir. So I want y'all to retweet this, retweet this, retweet this, retweet this, so he can see it personally. And just simply say, Darius, give Mr. Holland a call. That's all he has to do. We just need to have a conversation. And then the conversation is going to go out and go the way it's going to go. We're going to have a face-to-face meeting, and then it's going to be forever and ever and ever and ever and ever until you motherfucking stop doing this to women. Black women is specifically not going away. You're going to see this face for the rest of your life, sir. Retweet it. Good night.
So that was Don Von Hollins. That was his second attempt to get Darius Crooks' attention. Then he made a third attempt. We're gonna get into the other commentary. I see some of y'all who've been following the story. Y'all already know. Y'all love to get ahead of my story. I'll be going too slow for y'all. Told y'all this is a long live. This for the night house. Take our time with this one. Poll question I'm closing out. Have you seen this video about the Hollands that I created in 2021? So the clip I showed y'all, 41% of y'all had, 59% of y'all had not. For some of y'all who have not, that means y'all ain't went back down the timeline and through the playlist. That means y'all missing out on a lot. We have covered a lot. I think we got about 100 videos on Darius Cooks at this point. I know last time I looked, it was like, I think 80 something or 90 something. And I've done more since then. And they're good. They're interesting. There's stuff like this on there. We're archiving this. We're like the Museum of Darius Crooks. We got to curate and keep all of this for the time capsule. Anyway, so then Don Vaughn had his third attempt to get Darius Crooks' attention. Now, what I'll say, I'll wait. Oh, I did this wrong again. I'm not trying to do a video file. So used to doing that. Share the screen. Don Vaughn Holland. So here's Don Vaughn. Now this time he got a cigar. He letting you know. He giving you Godfather vibes. He like, I'm serious about this, Mr. Williams. You need to come see me. We got some things to talk about.
It's almost noon. Not yet to receive a call from Mr. Williams in regards to posting my family on his social media outlets so I can get a full understanding. Mr. Williams, please give me a call. 313-330-4992. That's 313-330-4992. Thank you.
Oops. I didn't mean to have that play twice. I was actually trying to stop it, but I forgot it was on my shared screen and not the place I normally have my videos. Anyway, he put his number out. Shanice, calm down. Calm down, friend. Calm down, friend. So that was Don Vaughn's. Actually, they were out of order. I just noticed. That one was I think his first time with the cigar. And everybody like, oh, Crooks in trouble. And you saw the women, like, oh, finally a man is coming at him. It's finally a man talking. And I was like, what? Finally a man talking? What the fuck y'all talking about? There are men involved in this fight. I was like, what a slap in the face. Not only was I around during that time and before this, but there was Charles Stevens has still been around, and there were other men. Some, have people moved on, but Charles Stevens has been around since the beginning too. Like, it's finally a man. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Don Vaughn with his cigar. It's a man talking. It's a man gonna stop him. Like, the fuck am I? Meanwhile, where's he now? Anyway, so what I think is what I know, ain't what I think, or my opinion, is that Don Vaughn Hollins is a regular everyday man. He one of those typical machismo kind of dudes. Got a wife, kids. He handled his busy. He is an entrepreneur, all that good stuff, and all that is a beautiful thing. Beautiful black family, all that. But he ain't used to this world. He said he's from Detroit. He said he know the Detroit streets, all that kind of stuff. And I'm with you. Like he giving the E-class vibes. Like you let him tell his story. It's like the E-class vibe from Miami. But what he was not prepared for was this social media world. It's different. And you can't handle it the same way you handle the streets. You can't intimidate the same way you intimidate in the streets. It don't work like that when somebody's behind a camera phone, a smartphone. It just don't work like that. Your tactics got to be different. You got to be strategic. You got to move a little different. Now, the thing he did I thought was great was he doxed himself. Because the truth is, had he not put his phone number out, Darius Crooks probably would have did it. So he got ahead, and I was like, okay, that's a smart move. They ended up creating a t-shirt line. It was called Forever Problem. Hashtag forever problem. They end up trademarking it. I forgot who I saw in the chat who said they bought one. Chat moved on me. Somebody in the chat said they purchased one of the forever problem shirts. And I was like, okay, I like this. Because we had to hashtag Darius Crooks. Donna Hammond. That was Donna Hammond who said that. We had to hashtag Darius Crooks. So that means Donna is going to buy our merch. Thank you, Donna. We had the hashtag Darius Crooks that already existed. And then they add the hashtag forever problem. And I love that because I was like, yeah, because this is a forever problem. This is a forever problem. You doing this to people, harassing and all that. Now it's coming back on you, and it's gonna be a forever problem. I loved it. Oh, I loved it so. But then the other stuff started to happen, and there were people trying to advise. I ain't gonna go too deep down on the behind the scenes. We're gonna do that one day, but not now. But the long story short, it was the lack of understanding. Like he was even him saying in that clip I played, y'all retweet this and da-da-da and this and that. Darius Crooks wasn't even on Twitter like that. Darius Crooks, we had run Darius Crooks away from Twitter around that time. Darius Crooks' real platforms is Facebook and Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and a little bit of YouTube is yes, but you know it's not a day-to-day thing. It's when he upload videos or go live to cook and hawk his dildos and crack pots. That's when YouTube matters. You gotta go where the people are. So you talking in this silo with the majority of us who are a part of the coalition. That's what we exist. We primarily exist over on Twitter and in Lipstick Alley. But if you try to get to the masses, you got to come on out of there. It was stuff like that. And then there was people trying to advise, and, you know, there was some conflict here or there, et cetera, which then caused other chaos that then turned into a defamation lawsuit against Darius Crooks from the Kitchenista. Y'all know about it. Most of y'all know. I put a poll question, but the lawsuit that the Kitchenista filed against Darius Crooks, which I thought that was very valid. And then also against the Hollands. And I was like, what? Against the Hollands and Natalie, the lawyer girl. And I was like, what? What? That's when I was like, oh Lord, this ain't going well. So because of that, the Hollands, they had already kind of backed away from the movement again. Don Vaughn, a regular working man, you know, got his business, got his family, etc. He got tired of me playing around on the I know names, Donna. I know what I'm doing. Thank you, friend. Are you on Patreon, friend? I know what I said. So they had already, like, it was Don Vaughn didn't have the level of smoke he needed for Darius Crooks. Now, so long story short, Darius Cooks was still running amok and still has been. Y'all already know this. And so they ended up getting, unfortunately, wrapped up in a frivolous lawsuit against them. And so that's where their time and energy went. And they thankfully were able to win that. And they ended up also being able to sue to get their attorney's fees paid for the frivolous lawsuit. And they won that as well. So, but again, they had to spend tens of thousands of dollars, or at least over 10,000 to fight that foolishness. And now, you know, all of that. So that's the ending of their story, but we're still in the mix of, I'm messing with you, Shanice. No, keep going. I was just joking. So the Hollins family, again, they created their Forever Problem shirt line, which some people had problems with. I wasn't one of those people that had an issue with it. I thought it was actually a good thing. Spread the word, etc. And then Darius Crooks chimed in about it. Let's see what Scamyonce had to say about it, because I never played it, y'all. Even when I pulled it today, I didn't play it. I mean, I'm sure I've heard it before. I just probably been 2 years or more. So here's Darius Crooks.
So they have these shirts made, the Forever Problem, this, that, and the third. And
Now, mind you, she's at the post office. I don't know if she drop it off or picking up packages, whatever she's doing. She doing all this on live, on her IG lives with the D-Hags. This is why they love her, though, because it's almost like, you know, she carry them in her backpack like little kids on the back everywhere she go. And the Burt Walrus, he's so they get to not only be involved in the drama, but it's like, oh, he's taking us on a field trip. It's a whole psychological thing with this cult.
Well, I say, okay, well, I'll make me a Forever Problem shirt too. So I made me a Forever Problem shirt. Forever Problem where? Williams, here's my license. Love is greater than hate. Okay? And I said, you know, I had a stalker.
Oh, I remember this part. I forgot about this. So when Darius Crooks started to receive the same heat and vitriol that he had been spewing out towards individuals for well over a decade, he decided to twist it, because him trying to come tit for tat for it was a lot of us. It was a lot of us, like well over 100 people, like coming and doing stuff and commenting every day and everything. And so he realized that he was losing that battle. So what he then decided to do was exactly what P. Diddy did. Darius Crooks used a lot of methods that these predators use and cult leaders. Y'all got to pay attention to this stuff. So remember, when Diddy started to get this reputation that aligned with all the horrendous things he had done all his life as he built his fortune, he then switched it to call me Love. I'm calling myself Love now. Then he creates the his last album called Love. Everything is about love. After all this hate and stuff you done spewed, Darius Crooks did the same ish, y'all. Same ish. Love over hate. Girl, you created this. This your karma. You created the toxicity. Now all of a sudden, that was again about 2021, 2022, probably 2022. Now you fast forward to today, you don't hear her talk about no love. She's still back to the same level of toxicity. It was all a part of her become the victim. See, y'all, they hate me. We only about love over here. I'm going to create a merch line about love. It worked, though, on them. It worked on them. And so I was newer to all this stuff then. I was like, what the hell? It's buffering.
Okay? And I said, you know, I had a stalker who was following me around, and she was in the bushes. So I said, you know what? I ain't really even trying to make no money off this. I'm really just playing around with y'all. So I'll tell you what, let's use the discount code BUSHES. So if you go to shopdariuscooks.com, you can get, thank you so much, either a Forever Problem shirt with the hashtag, with the discount code BUSHES, okay? And then you'll be good to go. So they kept going. So now I get off the plane and I found out that the wife done put her Twitter on private. Okay? I said to myself, why you private? You was public a minute ago. You was public when all this mess was going on, when you was drumming up all this mess, you was public.
So this is Darius Crooks again on his IG lies, because all he does is lie over there. He's creating the narrative that when he found out who Danielle was, he doxed her and put her information out on his platforms, etc. And he's trying to portray it like she went running and hiding. And so she privated her page because she was wrong and she got caught, when that wasn't what happened at all. And they'll explain, because we're going to watch the Roland Martin interview next. But this is Darius Crooks creating the narrative for the here they go. Yeah, Massa, she running and hiding, you was right. I'm glad you called her out and you shut her down, He gloating, thinking he done shut down another person exposing him. Right, sucker red alert. Sucker red alert. We ain't had no suckerettes over here in a long time, have we? Am I just missing them? I ain't even put the chat on members only or nothing. What's happening? Have they not really been over here like that? Or they just sitting and listening finally? Is that what it is? Y'all let me know in the chat. Like, am I just missing? And I mean, I watch the replays quite a bit. Well, I try to. And so I read the comments. I don't never really see them. Or are the moderators that good that y'all just deleting all the foolishness? Where they at? Arr! Arr! I'm calling them, doing their main call. Arr! Where y'all at? Arr! Class is in session. Arr!
Now you're not public no more? Well, what happened?
I think that's in the...
It's no fun when the rapper got the gun, is it? But it was fun, and it was all jokes and laughing. And when y'all was doing interviews and kikiing about me being gay and kikiing about this and he about to go down and he doing that and he don't send his orders and he ain't got no order number and his mama don't love it. I'm talking, y'all, the needle.
It's all true. Now, that was the only facts he stated. So, see, he's gloating like he done got rid of people. Like, Danielle gone. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Girl, you ain't shut nobody down. The people still talking.
Has moved on this movement so fucking much. I'm confused about what the whole problem is. You see what I'm saying? 259.
So he loves that narrative too. There's a bouncing ball. That one minute they say I scammed in Chicago. Then the next thing they talking about I got a fake Carolina pound cake company. Then they saying I had well, he won't never address the Fresh Go scam. Notice he has never addressed the Fresh Go scam ever. I'm sorry, except for in the Black Enterprise magazine where he totally denied the existence of it. Other than that, he will not address the Fresh Go scam. Even the Cupcake Gallery scam, I'm trying to think. Feel like he don't even address that. But he'll be like, then they say I abuse women. Then they say I got a mugshot. Then they say, and I don't know what it is. They keep changing it. It's a bouncing ball. Girl, is bouncing to listing each one of your scams. It's a bullet point of a laundry list of your scamming. That's what we're saying. It ain't one thing. If it was one thing, there would not be a whole coalition of people exposing you in multiple pages and people on various platforms. That don't even make sense. Oh, it's only because you closed your restaurant that all of these people then came out exposing you and everything else they make up just to have something to talk about. Girl, let her tell it. That's the story.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
So that was Darius Crooks, gaslighting as usual. Again, that was 2022 or whatever. I'm getting better. Like now with my new clips, I always put the dates and stuff so I can. So I did not know, y'all, when this first was going down back then, I had no idea that we'd still be talking about it 3 years later. I had no idea. I thought, like a lot of y'all thought, some people come over here, why he ain't in jail, Irv? It ain't nothing happening, y'all just ain't do nothing. That's why he's still doing it, No, it's not as easy as you think to get somebody off the internet from scamming. It's just not. It's not. I learned that the hard way. So then the Hollands took to the Roland Martin show. And they were interviewed by Roland Martin. This was after he had done the interview with Mel Ford regarding, because at this time it was like Darius had drama after drama, and all of it had just become major. But that's because she created it. It was like every time she created some drama, like throwing like a drama bomb at something, it just became a nuclear war and a cloud of dust blew up. She's like, oh my God, I can't even see from my own drama. It got bigger than I am accustomed to, because Darius Crooks was used to doing these same antics with everyday folk who ain't got no smoke for him. They got to go to work tomorrow. They got a career to worry about. They got a family to. This was happening to people who had time. So next thing you know, they on the Roland Martin show. They on the Roland Martin show.
Days ago, I talked to a woman from Atlanta who said that Darius Cooks Williams, goes by the alias Darius Cooks, had doxed her. A number of other people have said the exact same thing. Well, a Detroit couple, they say they too have been doxing victims of the Atlanta social media Cook. Now, Black entrepreneurs Dawn and Danielle Holland say Williams posted this private photo of their family on his social media. These were posts, and I'll ask in a second where they came from. But again, I asked Darius if he had posted the photo, and he responded that he had not. This is the tweet right here. I said, very easy answer, Darius. Did you post her children? It's either yes or no. He says no. That is a lie. Williams even claimed to have Danielle's social.
I'm gonna do a whole lot of stopping and starting with this because it's probably one of the. I got one more piece after this. We're gonna see how what time is it? Let's see how my energy is. But Darius Crooks, as you can see, when called to the carpet by Roland Martin and asked, "Did you do it?" he says no, lying, not knowing that Roland, when he asked the question, already knew the real answer. This is how Darius Crooks roll. And if you want to see this uninterrupted, because every once in a while I get a comment from a random person saying, you stop the videos too much. Well, part of it is copyright purposes, for copyright fair use. You can't just be playing other people's content without stopping and starting and giving commentary and making it unique to your own platform. The other piece is this is commentary. This is a commentary channel. So if you want to watch somebody else's content uninterrupted, go to the original source. This is on the Roland Martin's YouTube channel. You can Google Danielle's, you can Google the Hollands, Roland Martin.
Security number. Yeah. I even asked him if the doxing accusations were true. His response, their attempt is laughable. Don and Danielle Holland, who don't think this is a laughing matter, join me from the Metro Detroit area. Glad to have both of you. First off, I want to start here, and that is there have been a number of stories, again, that have been done. Folks have made various complaints. The photo that was posted, did either one of you post that on your social media accounts?
The pictures that he posted were, hi Roland, how are you, by the way?
Great.
The pictures that he posted were on my private Facebook page. My Instagram profile is private, and I have never posted those pictures on my Twitter.
Now, when you say private, what that means is, first of all, there is no private page. You can lock it, but people can still join your page, correct?
I mean, to my understanding, you have to send like a friend request or something.
Right.
Someone, yeah, to be able to view your profile and your pictures and stuff like that.
But the reality is that the moment you post it is actually public, even though it can be labeled private. But so how long ago was it when he took those photos that were on your Facebook page? And then, and where did he post these images? Because he was angry with you, but he chose to post photos of you and your children. How long ago was it?
So the date was February 16th, to be exact.
What precipitated all of this? Why? What was the anger? What was the drama surrounding this?
Well, his anger was that I was helping to amplify his scams and predatory behavior and doxing of Black women, to be specific. So I took to my Twitter anonymously, and it was anonymous because I know that he's historically, known to dox people and put their private information out there. So I was basically just simply helping to amplify the behavior of a bad actor amongst our community, specifically amongst black women. That's his demographic. So I was taken to my Twitter to retweet, to help spread information, any public documents that were out there regarding him. And for some reason, I was like a needle out of a haystack. He honed in on me And I guess I was an easy target for him to dox. And that's what he ended up doing.
All right.
So the part of what she's saying, and I made that point too, and I think the video we just watched, my clip from an older video, which was Danielle Hollins wasn't the only one talking. I was talking during that time. There was a lot of people talking. So for him to pick her out and say she's harassing me to his flying monkeys, she's harassing me. She been harassing me for 9 months. She wasn't the only one talking. Why are you pointing her out? But like she said, because she probably was the easiest target in his mind. And whoever else, out of his core diehard D-hags who were looking up information and researching, maybe her information came up quicker than everybody else's. Because eventually around this same time, they doxed me too.
So what else has been published? So was it just these? Now, when the allegation that he posted your social security number, did that happen? When did it happen?
He did not actually post my social security number. What he did was imply that he has my social security number, which you just showed in the screenshot or the Twitter tweet that he, tweeted. He said that, I said, why are you implying that you have my social security number? I said, I'm not trying to be employed by you. Why is that something that you would need as far as a social security number and a background check are concerned? And he said, there is no implication. I do have your background check. Screenshot that. He never actually posted my actual social security number, but he said that he implied that he has it.
What part are you saying is bullcrap, friend? So when it comes to the social security number conversation, Darius Crooks did in fact claim, and you saw the screenshot even with her, where she was like, well, are you implying that you have my social security number? He's like, I'm not implying anything, meaning I do have it. I don't have to imply. Darius Crooks had claimed that he had the social securities of Danielle Hollins, the Kitchenista, and background checks. Danielle Hollins, the Kitchenista, Sonny Anderson, and myself. And he went on in multiple situations to threaten, and she shared now he went as far as to share some background information on one of his live streams about the Kitchenista and also Sonny Anderson, both of them, where they've lived, the cities, some financial stuff, things like that. He literally shared that information on his IG lives, literally. And then I see Alice saying, where is that coming? Oh, Alice saying, I wonder if Breon was involved. Breon is not truly one of his core D-hags. She's, in her mind, she is. And for the purposes of the chat and bullying people and playing sergeant at arms with the chat, yes, she's one of the main people in that way. But what she is not is one of his main people, main D-hags that he interacts with. Group text message, that sort of stuff. There's another group, and I know who they are. So those are the ones who actually do this sort of dirty work for him.
So how long has this been going on, and how has this impacted the both of you and your family?
It's been going on, like I said, since February 16th was the official day that he doxed me and put my picture as well as my husband's picture, our underage children's pictures out there. He has since just doggone near every day antagonized us. That day when he actually doxed me, he changed his profile picture on Twitter to my picture. He changed his Twitter name to my name. He listed 3 cities that I have lived in. Basically, he was trying to incite people to harass me. He has since, when people have said that kids are off limits. Like, if you have an issue with what I was doing on my Twitter and you want to come at me, that's one thing. But to bring our underage children into it is another. And when he's questioned about that, he has several times said, F those children. Right. He changed his Twitter name to my husband's name recently in the last couple of weeks. And I mean, it's been a lot. It's mentally draining. My daughter has been under a lot of stress, having panic attacks. She knows what's going on, and it's a lot, you know. My husband.
Yeah. So let me say this. First of all, how you doing, Roland? Thank you for allowing us to come on here. There's two swim lanes here. There is spreading awareness and harassment. Darius has spewed that she had been harassing him, right? However, she was only spreading awareness to bring awareness to other women what he was doing. And she had to do it under strict anonymity, right? Because what he does is when he finds out who you are, he doxes, right? So, and then what he does is he also blocks people. So he really picked her out of a needle in a haystack. And I've said this before, that I think why he did it in the fashion that he did it, where he hit so below the belt, was because she very eloquently was stating facts, right? She was never, from my understanding and from what I've seen and from what I've researched, she was never posting lies or hypothetical things about him. It was always facts. And I didn't know who he was. I didn't know what a Darius Williams was until February 16th. I mean, again, when we were all in shutdown, from what I've been told now is that, with COVID or whatnot, he had really claimed fame when he was, over shutdown. So in passing, she would tell me about different people that she would follow. And, everybody was just at home. We had no other choice but to turn to social media. So when this all came about on February 16th, she kind of reminded me of who this guy was. But I would remember she had talked about the pattern that this one of the people that she was following would do, right? And the pattern was being disrespectful to Black women, was being, there was information about him being a scammer. If any customer, if anybody opposed him, he would block them. Well, first he would ridicule, he would talk down to them, and then he would block them, right? So when this came about, light bulb popped in my head. I'm like, okay, well, this is the guy. But again, I had no clue of who he was, what he does. I mean, I'm not even in this space, right? I mean, this was when I got involved in this thing. I mean, I hadn't sent a tweet in 5 years, right? So when all of this occurred, when he had doxed us, I went ahead and I actually was, Danielle to tell you, I was like kind of.
We're at the halfway mark, but I see a little bit more than half have never seen this. So I decided to go ahead and let the whole thing play through. But I'm going to give some commentary in a minute, but I'm going to let this part finish.
Irritated. I was like really irritated about it. I'm like, why are we even in this space? Like, what happened? Why are my children on the internet? Why is this guy coming at us? So I told her, I said, you know what? We're going to shut our social media down. Let's go dark for a minute.
So here's where I talked about a little while ago, Don Vaughn not understanding social media and how it works different than the street. Like the street, something go down, then you hide away for a minute. Social media is a little different. the last thing they should have done was what they did, which was take down the social media, because it then gave Darius Crooks ammo to say, see, she was lying. That's why she ran. See, now she run and she ain't got, she done took down her, because we got her. Look, we got her. Now, had she left it up and they had went straight into what Don Vaughn was doing and all the other stuff, it would have fared better. But instead, it gave Crooks the upper hand in that moment.
Again, you know, he was going live. He was just ridiculing. He was ridiculing us. He was talking about, I got her kids. I got her kids' information. Tell Don Vaughn I said hello, blah, blah, blah. I mean, he was literally just verbally like assaulting us over the internet.
And boasting that he figured out who I was.
Yeah, and boasting that he figured out who she was. So I'd say about, 1:30, 2 o'clock that morning, Roland, I was hot, man. I mean, I was hot. I'm like, I got too much to lose. I got a household, I got family, I got people that depend on me to, people that work for me. I can't lose it, right?
So I see Shanice saying they didn't even go to Dining with Dookie Head to confront Crooks in Detroit, from Detroit, but ain't pull up when Crooks was in your city. Literally, Don Vaughn is telling you why. He has too much to lose. That is what works to Darius Crooks' advantage with many people. Because remember, the people that Darius Crooks victimizes the most is the working class. He was doing the white collar crimes when he first started in his early 20s. He realized the implication of that very quickly when he created the fake payroll company and got fired immediately from the payroll company he was working at because he was trying to steal their clients. They walked him on out the door. Then he talked about the Frank's Nursery and Crafts, where he was skimming credit cards. And we know that there had to be some kind of charges behind that. So he learned very quickly that the white collar crimes, the chances of getting caught is quicker and the consequences are immediate. But when you grift on the working class, there's ways around it because many of them too busy and got too much on their plate or too much to lose to do something like roll up on you. Don Vaughn, let's say Don Vaughn and them, they ran up on him. What do? Is there a confrontation? Is there violence? Do the police get called? Is there now a police report? Is Don Vaughn now walked away in handcuffs because he's considered to be trespassing in some way? Now he got a TPO hearing from Darius Crooks. Then he got maybe getting arrested or some other kind of charges. So again, easier said than done. He really couldn't do that much. Now, could he maybe had some cronies do something? Maybe, but I don't know what his connections looking like in Detroit. I don't think nobody who has an issue with Darius Crooks had the right connections in Detroit to be able to get something done without their hands having to get dirty, if you know what I mean. So I get why they didn't. I also hear what y'all saying about all of the puffing up, puff, just to be deflated with nothing happening. I get it. I hear you though.
But that was your first instinct. I don't know if you have children or if anybody that's watching that have children. All bets are off when children are involved, young children. And so I had to master extreme emotion because I wanted to go back to my old Detroit roots, but I couldn't. So about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, I sent my first tweet that I hadn't sent. I hadn't, because I don't tweet. I had a Twitter account, but I hadn't sent any tweets for 5-6 years. So I sent a tweet and I posted a picture of us and I says, Darius, this is Don Von Holland, husband of Danielle. You posted my family, you posted me. I need to understand why you did this. Please give me a call. So I'm like, you know what? If this guy, I'm going to get ahead of this guy. because I know he's used to posting telephone numbers. He's used to posting personal things. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to dox myself. So I says, I need you to give me a call. I put my personal cell phone number out there. It says 313-330-4992. I need for you to call me. So, and I think I sent a couple other tweets after that. And then the next.
Daniela is about to interject in a minute, and she kind of gives us more to work with. We're about nearly 75% done with this. Then we're going to do a part 2 tomorrow, because I actually have another section, because they actually did they were in a magazine, but I think I later realized that they created it. I don't think they were in one, but I think they actually created a magazine. So it's a long article, but it gives y'all a lot of the background. And so, yeah, I'm not doing that till I'm tired now. And we 3 hours in. So we'll do that tomorrow.
Morning, we got up, we're moving around, we're still hot, trying to figure out what we're gonna do about this. And I believe that Danielle had saw that he was live, and this guy had actually was telling his followers that, yeah, I talked to her husband, I had a conversation with him, told him what his wife was doing, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this guy is something's up with this guy. So I did another video, and I says, Darius, you said that we had a conversation. You haven't.
But to rewind before that, actually, I remember I shut my Twitter down a few hours before the night before, because I was receiving, crazy tweets and messages and stuff. So I shut my Twitter down for about 5-6 hours, and we wake up to the morning. What Don just said happened afterwards, but the first thing we saw in the morning was someone sent us an Instagram post from him saying, that's right. That's how you clear a BITCH out. Yeah. So he thought his attempt was.
Why they can't say bitch? That's how you clear a bitch. That's what he said. It's Roland Martin. You can say a bitch.
To basically, he wanted to threaten me. He wanted to shut me up. He wanted to scare me. He wanted to send me into a dark hole somewhere. And he thought he successfully had did that. So he boastfully made a post, smiling and saying, that's how you clear a BITCH out. Right.
So, now we fast forward, and then that's when the Instagram Live, he was on Instagram Live, and then he stated what he stated in regards to actually having a conversation with me. So I did a video, I tweeted my second or third tweet, and I says, Darius, you stated that you had a conversation with me. You stated that that we talked, and I says, you know what, my phone has been ringing, but it hasn't been you. I says, you have an extreme, vivid imagination. I mean, this man actually imagined an entire conversation, and he actually verbatimly read that conversation off to his followers.
Well, he didn't imagine, he lied.
Yeah, he lied, right. That's what I'm saying.
So that was I wanted to get to that point. That I've told y'all before that Darius Crooks flat out lies, creates narratives that do not exist. During that time with Don Vaughn, all that stuff going down, he lied to his D-Hags and told them that he had a conversation with Don Vaughn that never happened. In addition, he read to them, the D-Hags, verbatim, what allegedly was going on in the conversation that literally never happened. And I've told y'all the story that Mel Ford, she shared, I think on Roland Martin, I think, somewhere, but I know I've talked to her about it, where Darius Crooks, this was back when she was following him in the early 2016, and he had lost his keys, and he was on his live, and he was all in a haste trying to figure out where to find his keys at, and he couldn't find his keys, and he ended up getting off with them. She ends up, because she had a way to reach him, personally over the phone and stuff. She had his phone number. She ends up reaching out to him, and she says, they end up talking to something. She was like, oh, did you ever find your keys yesterday? He tells her, Oh, I never lost my keys. That was for engagement. Something as simple as that, but also as elaborate as some of the other lies that I've debunked over here. He literally lied and said to his followers he had talked to Don Vaughn and he created what the conversation went like. If a person can do that, they can lie about anything. Craziness. It's almost over.
You never had a conversation, but he put it out. But he put it out there that he did. Have the two of you taken any action, any civil action? Have you taken anything asking to have him take things down? Has been any action have you taken against him?
Yes. As far as taking, I mean, I've gotten.
And this is answering somebody in the chat. I had started the question, but is asking like, well, what are they doing like legally? Is there any legal recourse? This is the part where they break down that part and what they were attempting to do back then, because now that was a couple years ago.
I've went the route of, with people that I know and or whatnot, where resources that I've been trying to use. We've filed a local police report. It is currently in the prosecutor's office. I'm in the discussions with the prosecutor right now on a local level here in Michigan.
Got it.
We've also had conversations with some folks in the DOJ, and it's funny that I didn't understand that this actually falls in the guidelines of Homeland Security in this matter. And we've reached out to the FBI, and naturally we followed the process of where you report things on Twitter, you report things on Instagram, you report things on Facebook. However, that has not worked because my children's pictures are still
there
on his Twitter.
And he refuses to delete them.
And he refuses to delete them. So, and this is why, I really kind of got into this battle. Number one, I got in the battle because of my children and my family, my wife. And then number two, as I started getting into the fat meat of this whole situation, there's really no real process that's in place on the local police department level, because there was someone else that was here in Michigan that had a certain situation with him, and they had went and tried to file a police report, but the Detroit Police Department kind of just threw it out, said, you know what, you don't have a case. However, in the zip code that we live in, they are kind of like really diligent on trying to push it through. I mean, and that's the thing. I started getting into the fat meat of this. Is like, what is the real process to report somebody on a local level? Where can people go instead of like reporting it, cyberbullying on, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter? Like, what is the actual process that's in place? Which really, it's almost like it's zip code specific,
Right.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
So again, your complaint is still in the hands of the DA's office.
Yes, exactly.
No decision has actually been made on that. Last question for y'all: have y'all heard from other people who have similar complaints with regards to Darius Cooks Williams?
Absolutely. I mean, we get flooded with inboxes of people that have had situations in dealing with him. As a matter of fact, there are people that have been coming specifically in my inbox stating that they were afraid to come out because of what he does. I mean, they don't really have any, I'm not going to say they don't have a fight in them. They just necessarily don't know what to do to try to fight this whole process. So that's the thing. I'm actually trying to figure out how I could help them and what do we need to do. So it's like I'm kind of guiding the individuals that's in my inbox on what they need to do and follow the steps and the protocols that we are trying to do, that we're doing. So yeah, we get tons of people that reach out to us saying, hey, this happened to me. Hey, this guy blocked me. Hey, this guy owes me money. Hey, what do I need to do? And that's the thing. It's like, man, I cannot really, it's like I got into the fat meat of this, and it's like, man, this guy is like a predator.
And he's currently on his best behavior, trying to issue refunds and do customer service on live because of the heat that's been under him recently, as far as, you know, your show and the hashtag Darius Crooks on Twitter, as well as Randy Travis's Fox 5 Atlanta 2-part segment.
Mm-hmm.
And so, whereas people would normally get blocked or ignored when they're asking about a refund or products not received, he is on social media refunding people and answering any inquiries, whereas that's not his normal stance.
Right.
So.
And I want to touch this point back again, because his stance.
All right, we're done. So that was a good recount and retrospect on that piece of it. Now, again, there's an article, and what I like about the article, although I see all Shanice's comments, and I'm chuckling, and some of them we'll talk later. We got to talk on Patreon. But anyway, thank you so much for the Cash Apps, Patrice. Thank you, because you actually reminded. Well, I have it on my notes to look at last, but you reminded me in this moment. Thank you so much for your Cash App, friend. I greatly appreciate you. And Davida from Davida A from yesterday, because I forgot to do it yesterday. I greatly appreciate you as well. Hopefully you're seeing this shout out on a replay if you're not here this evening. Poll question we're closing out is, have you seen this Roland Martin episode with the Hollins family? 58% of you had not seen this episode. I'm going to do some the start comments that I had here regarding this, and then we are getting out of here. I told you I was going to be a long live, so I don't even know. But now I'm like looking at time, like I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Can I do this without the glasses? Maybe. What's up with Crooks posting all this is from Patrice from earlier. What's up with Crooks posting all this old content? That Richmond review when he made that owner cry is so frustrating, cringe. Darius Crooks does that from time to time to fill in the gap when he ain't got no new drama to create. And most times people just don't notice it, but he does that actually quite often. He'll repeat recipes and everything else. That's what he does. And it is old, but you know, he needs to love bomb. He needs to give them something that is dramatic. And so he put that out. I actually did that before. If you haven't seen it, I showed it and we talked about it. I can't say that I did a deep dive. I did not do a deep dive on it because I don't know a lot about that particular situation. I just know about that clip, but we did show it over here and we talked about it. I remember when Don Von Hollins didn't do a dang old thing. Yeah, you know. Deborah says there's no legal recourse here. So he pretty much talked about that, but during that time, it was still an active situation. What people have learned over time is that most states, municipalities, etc., they don't have laws on this stuff. This internet cyberbullying kind of thing is new. And the internet, we all got access, in the late 90s? That's the first time I kind of remember having access. And I think it's just getting to the point where they're starting to see somewhat of a need for it, that it does, it can become criminal. Some states have some laws now. Some states are in the middle of trying to pass some laws. Georgia is one of them. But that's part of the problem. And when you look at the work that police departments, investigators, etc., these alphabet agencies, the workloads that they already have, when you look at something like this compared to those, the scales ain't quite balanced. It's just like, oh, he posting your family on the internet, you know, oh, he claiming that he got your social security number, but as he used it, did he try to buy a car with it? Did he try to get a house? Did he try to open a line of credit with your social security number? If not, is that really a crime? And do you have proof that he got it? He's saying he got it, but that ain't enough for the FBI to get involved in. You know what I'm saying? So he skirts the line in a lot of these situations with the law. And that's how he gets away with it. However, there are times where he F's up like he does with many things. And those are things that the alphabet agencies have been and are paying attention to. But that's how we end up in these situations where, again, like I told y'all, even when I first started 3 years ago now, I thought this was as simple as you're a bad person. You're doing bad things. You're doing illegal things. You're harming people. And you're using social media platforms as a tool to be able to do these things. They're not going to keep allowing that. They're not meant for this. No, then I later learned, as I learned what this is, that the drama sells. 15 Minutes of Fame documentary on, it was what, HBO Max maybe? Talks about how these social media platforms actually thrive off negativity. They get more likes and views from it. They get more advertiser dollars for it. So of course they're not going to be too quick to try to get rid of a person like Darius Crooks. Why? Because he does get the engagement through the drama, constant drama, and doxing and all the other predatory things that he does. It's kind of where we're in. Now, his Twitter, I always hear conflicting things. They say that they got him kicked off of Twitter. I can believe that, but he'll say he shut it down, but he lies so much. So I think he got kicked off Twitter because we were reporting him. That I do know for all the toxicity. Because the Twitter's the Wild Wild West. Like, it's different over there. When you get to talk about the way people cover this and talk about this, is different. Also on Lipstick Alley. To me, like the Facebook groups and stuff like that, they definitely go in, but it's milder. It's like PG level. Over on Twitter, it's triple X. They don't care. Oh, I love it over there. I love it. Oh, I love it so. Donna Hammond said, I can truly understand the Hollands letting this go. The ish gets tiring and Darius won't let anything die. He goes on and on with his grifts by any means necessary as the victim. Yes, that is in fact true. Again, you got to be in a certain position to really be able to deal with this. And I was blessed to be put in this position to be able to do this, because the truth is, if I was still in corporate America, and I was out of corporate America even before I started covering this stuff, but let's say I had still been, I couldn't, not only would I not be able to cover it the way I've covered it, how the other piece is, one of the things they tried to do to me when I became very vocal and started doing a lot of videos on it, etc. Really, it was still a handful. I probably had like 10 videos, if that. They tried to dox me, putting out personal information. They tried to figure out where I worked. They thought they did all on my LinkedIn and posting that all on Twitter. Look at where he worked. Look at this and da-da-da. I was like, now, had I still been employed, they would have been trying to get me fired. I don't think it would have worked because the organization I worked for was very loose. And I was in an executive position. So I know it wouldn't have worked, but it would have at least created some level of frustration for me to like have to even start talking to the higher ups about it and what it really was and all that other foolishness. So, so I get it why everyday people don't, and it is exhausting. It's exhausting. We talk on Patreon a little bit more. Patrice is saying, I feel like I saw something today about the kitchenista bullying and doxing too. Where you see that at, friend? Where you see that at? It's true, but where you see it at is what I'm questioning. It's true. He said, what's really the tea? Did the victim become the villain? Or was the victim always the villain? That's the question. I am doing a deep dive on that at a point in the future, because when I do my stories, when I do my coverage, I like to do deep dives, and these ain't quick little stories. They're sagas. There's so much to it. So it will come when the timing is right. And also part of that is the stuff I'm doing behind the scenes that you only Patreon is really aware of, that will lead us down those tracks. CP is saying, I get it, but if she's not a victim, she knew what she was dealing with, a psycho, and that she had kids. I don't think she fully knew. But I hear you. But I believe that she, like many people, still thought there were lines that wouldn't be crossed. I don't think she was necessarily surprised by him coming after her in the way that period. But in the way that he did and the fact that he pulled her family into it, I think was a shock for her. I do believe that. Because if it wasn't, she would have not necessarily had the reaction she had. She was caught off guard by it. I would never, like when I finally got doxxed, I was like, oh, okay. I was expecting this. I was just wondering when. That's the only thing. I was wondering when. I was not shocked by any means. I didn't even really do that much in front of the scenes about it. I had already done stuff behind the scenes to prepare for it. I would never even try to deal with exposing Darius if I had kids to protect. Here's the thing, though, CP. I hear you, though. But Darius Crooks is a bitch-made internet bully. Ain't nothing really gonna happen. She's a stunt queen. She putting out pictures of people's kids. And Danielle's kids, they were the first. I think they were the first. But they're definitely not the last. He's done it to other people since then. Because he got away with it. So he's done it to other people. So the truth is, that's all that happens. It's literally all that happens. Now, from a safety perspective, I could see people saying, I don't want my children's picture out in public because then people know, and then there's crazy people, et cetera, et cetera. But you even hear Love Breon Love. I know her handle is Love Breon, but I like to say Breon Love, but it's easier. But anyway, crazy ass Breon Love tells you herself in her crazy ass video with her wig way back here, tells you that I ain't never fight nobody. I loves me some Darius Cooks. Don't y'all come over here. Body my Darius, he was sent to me. She lets you know. I'm a bitch too. I'm bitch made. I'm scary. I'm a keyboard bullet too. She letting you know. 99.9999999% of them are just as bitch made as they leader. So, and I'm telling you from experience. So but I hear you. I hear you, but it ain't really nothing to be scared of. It's tactics to do stuff like what you just said. Ooh, if you got kids, you should already know don't mess with him. That's to keep y'all silent. That's how he's thriving. He's thriving because of some of y'all like, well, if you got kids, you should know not to say nothing about him anyway. Just let him keep scamming people and harming people. No. That's not the answer. That's not how this works. Then there's those, well, they busy. They got a business to uphold. They got to protect their business. They can't have no drama around their business. I get it. But again, there's another way he's thriving. Then it's, I'm just exhausted. This so much drama. It's emotionally draining. We've been dealing with this for a year. I'm just over it. That's another way he gets away with it. Like it's all of these. I've had so many conversations over the past 3 years. Some people I still talk to who were very active in the beginning, who are like on the outskirts and like, I just was over it. I just couldn't take. And what's happening all this time? And Darius Crooks would say it. Y'all gonna get tired before I do. That's her plan, to wear y'all out. I'm going to keep scamming. I'm going to keep being a predator. I'm going to keep doing everything I'm doing. You know why? Even if you able to go toe-to-toe with me like Vel B or Lavelle, because I don't call him Vel B. I don't know where y'all get that from. His name is Lavelle, all that. But even if y'all try to go toe-to-toe with him like Vel B, his plan is to try to wear you out. Just keep going till you get tired. I know her game. That's why you take a little vacation, take a couple of weeks off. You need a month or two off, and then you come right back at it. That's what I do. And now I don't even take the breaks ain't that long. Got too much to do. Too much work to do. I've been working on the railroad, dragging crooks all day long. Nah. If I had thought about it, I would have had a little flow better. Anyway, last couple comments. How many? It's 4 left. Okay. That I start. Says a lot of people spell cuss at Vel. Yeah, the reason I said whatever my reaction was at the time, Alice, was because they curse like sailors in real life. and on Twitter. So, like, stop it. Stop it. Just because you're on Roland Martin. Stop it. That's what I meant, because I already know they curse. Catherine Powell says, did they, and then bitch ain't a bad word like it used to be when I was growing up. But bitch on TV is not a bad word anymore. Catherine is saying, did they ever call the police and file a report? Yeah, they pretty much explained that. They did. They went to the police to try to do police report, et cetera, et cetera. But that means nothing. 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 Some of y'all will get it eventually. DC is Darius Crooks is a habitual liar by far. Absolutely. No true words have been spoken. Thank you so much, Patrice, again, for the Cash App friend and letting me know in the chat that you have sent the Cash App. So with that, that is our show for this evening. If you're joining, if you joined a little later, we have had a long show. We are 3 hours and 30 minutes in. We did our missing persons segment in the beginning, so check that out if you missed it, so that you can be aware of our lost ones who we're trying to get them to be able to return home. Then we had the unfortunate story of a crazy lady who randomly shanked a 3-year-old child who was with their mother, who was loading up the car with groceries, and this woman just ran up and attacked the baby, and the baby didn't make it, unfortunately. So we got that story. You can hear more about it. And she was smiling at the court. Then you got TikTok KKK Karen. We talked about that story and her doubling down for MAGA and getting fired and saying that black folks are puppets, and we helped her get her career with the media. And then we had the brothers, the Irving brothers, who this is a story, an older true crime story from September of 2015, where they violently attempted to take the lives of their parent. We walked through that. Then we revisited quickly little Corey story and Darius Crooks and how they plot on the internet for clicks and views and drama. And then lastly, the Holland story. So if you've missed any of that, definitely check it out if you're watching the replay. And please hit that like button as well. It is free to you, but it is invaluable to me and the growth of this channel. We will be back tomorrow, and we will finish, whether some people like it or not, Shanice, we will finish with part 2 of the Holland story. And then we will, I got another plan after that. It's probably a classic replay night. I'm pretty sure it is, because I need to get some things done. So with that, I will see y'all tomorrow. Y'all, oh my God, I'm gonna bring y'all. Y'all take care. Have a good night, and I will see you later. Peace. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm about to end the live. Oh.
Nobody's bigger than the group. Y'all ain't stupid. I'm the one selling the records. They coming to see me. They coming to see the Temptations. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. You wish you could work it the way I do. Check it out. Dang. Look, remember? Nights like this, I wish raindrops would fall. Nights like this, I wish raindrops would.
You got knocked the fuck out, man! Give me my goddamn money. The payback's a motherfucker, ain't it? Nigga.
When I see food, Damn, nigga, did you order that shit yet, man? Fuck, I'm hungry as a bitch. When I see food.
Oh, come on! On your range!
not be just a nuffin', my head all full of stuffin', my heart all full of pain. I would dance and be merry, life would be a ding-a-dairy if I only had a brain.
Ah, youngster. Yeah, get your ass up out of here.
Mom. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Call for your mama. I stayed off your ass out of respect for that woman. But if it wasn't for your mama, I would have broke your little ass down a long time ago. Jody? Little Jody? You know what I see when I look in your eyes?
You gonna cry now? Come on, cry, baby. Cry for me. Come on. Cry.
Deep in the recesses of my brain, a tiny red-hot little flame began to grow.